So we had Himiko, which is the older sister who is now a resident of the hospice. We have
The seventh
Satsumi.
floor.
Yes, seventh floor. Satsumi, who is not in the hospice, but she is at the
Currently an
same
outpatient.
hospital. Yes, an outpatient
Yeah.
with something, and she's 15, I believe, currently.
Oh,
Chihiro,
yeah, because the 15th summer thing.
yes. Chihiro works at the hospital and is Himiko's younger sister.
Mm-hmm.
And then Yuka may or may not be getting seen again because since Himiko is in the hospital, Yuka was the best friend. Himiko told her not to come to her if she was admitted to the seventh floor, and now she is. So we don't know if we'll be seeing her again. But those were the four we met, and
Yep.
that's kind of where
And
they're at.
there was a whole thing with the car.
And the
Um,
maps.
and yeah, so the maps that were, I think we're just gonna assume that it was because the wish for thinking of travel,
Yeah.
but not. But uh, right now, I think that about sums it up. Setsumi likes to wear his. Yeah, the friends definitely.
Yeah, I don't think that was it.
So I think
Pooch.
my but he's just gonna keep barking if I don't let him see the person that is around.
Is are you using the wired headphones again, or something? The audio keeps kind of getting muffled. I'm not sure if that's a connection thing or if there's like a mic getting sat on or something.
Like, and uh,
Yeah, you like sound like you're muting and or unmuting yourself. It's odd.
hey, hold on. Do I sound clear now?
A little bit, yes. You do sound you're coming through more clear. Oh, now it's
Well,
cutting in and out again.
I've always with my back kind of to the mic, so it shouldn't be a problem this time. So maybe Discord's having trouble
Yeah, it might
with
be.
the audio because Pooch is in the background.
Maybe. Yeah, it might be an audio thing or it might be a connection thing
It's gonna
rather.
be so annoying. It's gonna be so annoying. Pooch, Hodge, I will let you see the person, and then you can stop arguing. Ugh.
So, we'll be following the Onesan.
The stream has disappeared.
Oh, it did? Why did it says I'm streaming? Okay, let me try this again. Share screen. Are you getting
Oh,
it?
sorry. I need to click on it. That's why. It was only showing your face. And I thought that was because you weren't streaming. I had to tap on your face and then click the stream. That doesn't happen a lot.
Alright, so you can see now, following the Onesan,
Yeah.
Himiko-san, we came to first floor cafeteria
Yes.
for some vanilla ice cream, perhaps. And then we
Vanilla ice, ice baby. I think I made that joke last night. But
probably. That sounds like you.
yeah.
And then we went up to a convenient table and sat next to each other.
Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't want to start talking about a completely different topic now that we're actually starting the game. But normally it's like hey, so anything to share, and then I think about it and then I share it.
The people in the hospice, they've been wanting to eat lunch for the past however long we've been talking, and they're just
Yeah.
waiting for these nerds to finish their anime discussions. Unless you had anything more to say.
Yeah. I think that's mainly it. I just wanted to tell you that I finished Shira and that it ended up being about as good as I thought it would be. So
Next magical girl show on your list. Also long. Cardcaptor Sakura. Let's go.
yeah, I think that needs to be booted up just a little bit higher, probably. Like, maybe that'll be what I tackle next. If I finish the mammoth that Haikyuu is,
I think
then
Cardcaptor's
go
like
for
80, maybe? Or 70? It might be, I think it's 70 in the two movies. And then Clear Card is like at 13. It's supposed to get more at some point. I don't know. I've been wanting to.
Clear Card.
The sequel series to so the original one is like a 80s or 90s anime, and then Clear Card came out like 6 years original series to it. It's a continuation, basically. Because I guess I think the manga is still being published, maybe?
Oh, wow.
I think. Or I don't know, for sure. I know Clamp still does some publishing. I don't know all the details, honestly. But I know that whatever plan they had has kind of been halted and such by like everything with COVID and whatnot, and Clamp just is slower at releasing it overall, I think. But yeah, I feel like I didn't like Clear Card as much. It was shorter, and then I missed the old school aesthetic and stuff, and like the things that I thought they would kind of devote time to exploring that I would be interested in of the sequel. They didn't really, at least again, not yet. So that was kind of a bummer. But if I say that, but if they come out with more of it, I'm gonna watch it. So we'll see.
Well, yeah, I'll probably. I don't know. I feel like that'd be too many magical girls stacked onto each other. Because I also do want to kind of rewatch Madoka. Because I barely remember anything because I binged it. It was only like 11 episodes, right? Like I couldn't tell you anything. I binged it, and I want to be able to see. What was it? Magia Record.
Oh, that one was really good too. Yes, you should. Magia Record isn't. It's more of a side story to it. So it's not like directly in line. Like there's references and stuff, and some characters do reappear. But they're not like the main cast or anything. But Magia Record was still really good. And then of course the new movie's coming out. I also want to rewatch Madoka just because. Yeah. But I'm like kind of wanting to wait a little closer until when the new movie's going to be coming out. But I don't know if I'll last long.
That's a smart move. I momentarily forgot that the movie's on the way, and that's another reason why I had it in my head. I had to rewatch Madoka.
That was like literally the only good news I can think of in the past however long with the fucking like entertainment industry of everything just being like canceled, delayed, not happening, it happened but it sucks. Sort of stuff like, oh my god, fucking Madoka, new movie. And we get the old ones re-released in English because they're fucking impossible to get anywhere. Oh, so happy. So yeah, I want to rewatch that one too, just because it's good. And
I think that helps me push it back then, because I can wait till the movie. So don't have to worry about it yet.
You should check out Magia Record. I really like Magia Record. I hope they make another season of that. I doubt they will, because it seemed like it was probably just to promote the gacha game, but it was still really good. Because that's my life. I just watch advertisements for gacha games now. That's all I do. And then I play them when they come out, if they ever release in English.
No, you watched other things, Gabe. You watched Jujutsu Kaisen that you didn't like me as much as I will. I feel like that's every time you mention Jujutsu Kaisen.
I guess that's what I should say, is that the only ones that resonate with me are advertisements for fucking gacha games. D4DJ, Idol in Pride.
Idol, yeah. Basically. Oh, D4DJ was an advertisement for a gacha game?
Yeah, the gacha game for D4DJ comes out this month. Actually, this week. Why do I know that? Because apparently I'm excited for it. That's where I'm at. I'm curious and interested and excited for... I couldn't tell you when, like, actual games are releasing. I guess I followed Resident Evil. But, like, other real video games that are releasing this year, I'm like, I don't know anymore. COVID kind of fucked everything up. But I know this gacha game's coming out. And I like the advertisement, the 13-episode advertisement they put on YouTube. I watched all of those and I liked it. So yeah, I'll just play this. That's my life.
I shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't be surprised that it's basically a gacha game. I mean, it's an idol anime. Like, well, it was gonna be an advertisement for something.
Yeah, it's the same parent company as Love Live, so... And they're pushing this one, like, they were doing a lot of pushing for this one in both Japan and in the West, so... I think it'll be probably fun. I don't know if I'll do it every single day like I do with the Love Live, but still just gonna check it out because I really like the anime, which is just an advertisement for the game. So that's cool.
Well, speaking of games, no, it was one, like, Discord made it, like, in the small box, and tapping on the small box didn't make it pop into the big box. So is this set to me?
No, this is still... Oh no, yes, it is set to me. I went to the convenient tables, sat next to each other, right at lunch, cafeteria expressively. Crowded not only people from outside, but also people who seemed involved with the hospital. As for myself, because my home was close, I never used it before, but more people seemed used to it. So yes, it's
Okay. That was Himiko.
You like the members on Foster menu with the practice and care.
ゆっくり選んでくれていいわよ。チョコでもミントでもシャーベットでもなんでも好きなのにしてね。
She happily continued
I'll
with
take a
words
sherbet.
for several hours about anime and things, nonsensical ones. When I looked at the menu, it didn't seem like I had much to debate over.
じゃあ私はちょっと待った。はい。ズバリ私が予想してみましょう。
That's cute.
For some reason, when she interrupted me, I thought it was cute. And also, she confidently made her prediction. Certainly, this was a menu with many different set meals and drinks. From the start, the key item, ice cream, only came in vanilla. There wasn't really anything to predict here.
そうね。あなたの雰囲気からするとバニラね。どう？もしかして当たってる？これは何かの冗談。違う！そこはメニューそれしかないじゃんって突っ込んでくれないと。もういいわ。じゃ買ってくるから。
Let's see now why the episode title was Vanilla Ice Cream.
What that was just now, I wonder.
はい、
What was
お
that
待た
just
せ。
now, I wonder. Odd wording. Innovate Himiko sandwiches. Oh, around the tray there were 4 ice creams.
とりあえず1人ノルマ2個だからね。
なんで? As the thought came to me faster than I could ask it, she placed 2 dishes in front of me as if that's how it was supposed to be.
Sorry, what was the line before that? Pooch went in my face at a really inopportune. Okay, everyone's assigned to. Alright, I knew it, but it might not have been that important.
おいしい。やっぱ夏場はこれに限るわよね。
With a nod, I also started eating it. It was a sherbet-like ice cream and fit the season with its light taste.
説味おいしい？
Wait, I thought all that was there was vanilla. What?
じゃあさ、
Is
もっと
sherbet
嬉しそうに言ってみて。
style? Rather than a flavor?
Now that I think about it, it might be because I've heard of orange sherbet. So maybe sherbet on its own is Pooch. Sherbet.
Sherbet is distinctly different from ice cream in flavor, mouthfeel, and texture. Sherbet uses citric acid, which can make. So there's sorbet, there's ice cream, and there's sherbet. So it seems like they're types rather than flavors, according to Baskin Robbins.
Oh, it's a frozen. Wait, sherbet is a frozen fruit and dairy product that contains anywhere from 1 to 2% milk fat from milk or cream. Alright. Dope. Well, I learned a lot of new things today.
Without learning is a day wasted, or something.
おいしい。
That's a nice saying.
ああ、そうじゃなくってもっとこうなんていうかさ。
This time I wonder, does she think everyone needs to be a Genki girl? Or just what normal does she want me to do?
じゃあね。
No! Oh, wait, I'm gonna throw you across the room.
って言ってみて。
Oh, and now you activated Siri, Pooch. Look what you did. You went and activated Siri.
He's like, I just want some ice
う
cream.
まいぞ。
I just want ice cream, Diva!
Because I won't let him go see the new
では次の
person, so
問題
he's
です。
gotta annoy the shit out of me. So he needs me to let him out.
問題。まずシャンデリアを10回言ってください。 素早く言わないとダメだからね。シャンデリア、シャンデリア、シャンデリア、シャンデリア。では毒リンゴを食べたのは白雪姫。正解よ。
She wanted to say Cinderella. Maybe she wants to say
Yeah.
さて、いよいよ盛り上がってまい
You
りま
know
し
they
た。
had little twisters like that too. Like how
てなわ
they
けで
say
自己
fork
紹介タイ
five
ムよ。
times fast, fork, blah blah blah. And then what do you eat your soup with? Then you say fork. It's just You've heard of that one, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not crazy.
No, yeah. That,
Okay.
Yeah, that's one. And then there's another one where it's like, I forget what the lead in is, but it's like so you get them to say milk a bunch, and then it's like, what do cows drink? And then it's like, oh, milk. It's like, no, they drink water. I don't remember what the lead in is though.
Oh, that would piss me off.
I definitely
Yeah,
remember
you're
falling
right.
for that in high school at some point. I'm pretty sure.
Might have fall. I probably, if I have heard it, I definitely fell for it.
Rumiko-stan was still falling for it herself. In these sort of situations, I guess I should go along at least a little bit. That's what I wound up thinking, but it's not impossible for me.
ねえねえ、節美の趣味って何？特にない。じゃあ、お料理とか得意だったりして？別に。意外なとこでカラオケ好きだったりとか、しかもアニソン好きで夏マシンガン歌えるとか。
Neko Neko Soft Satsu Machine Gun song came for the name of speed the stream of consciousness lyrics are shouted by Mizuhiro Shindo. It is rumored that people have sung the karaoke in real life. So, Summer Machine Gun.
Okay, well, searching Natsuko Machine Gun song doesn't hold anything on the internet.
What about Neko Neko Soft?
I guess I could try Summer Machine Guns. Nope, that brings up Machine Gun Kelly. So I'm not thinking that's right.
I feel like that would be weird to add a translation note for exist outside the realm itself.
Nago Soft seems to be a publisher for visual novels.
Okay.
I think it's only doesn't seem like there's really or I think it's only pulling up like Japanese sites. Seems like it's probably a small internal or local reference maybe. I don't think this was published by them. Oh, we're too dumb.
Interesting.
Pull up this store page with this. Yeah, this is Stage Nana's developer and it's Sakai Project is the publisher. Not sure what it's referencing.
それじゃ、今度は私の紹介する番ね。こう見えても私、すっごい車好きなの。なんと国内 A 級まで持ってるのよ。えへん。
She even straightened up proudly and was excessively wound up. But to me, even if I was told national rank A, I had no idea what that meant.
それってすごいの？
Well, not that much.
And in a flash, her energy disappeared. And as for me, instead of that, I was more interested in something else.
なになに？質問 OK よ。ロータリーエンジンとか得意だから。そうじゃなくて、そんなの食べていいの？ああ、そういうことね。
Seemed
知ってる ?7 階の面会時間って。うん。なんと7階だけは24時間 OK なのよ。ついでに言えば食事制限も特になし。そうなの？
That's probably the best
そりゃ
thing
無
to
茶
get
な大食いはダ
about
メだけ
being
ど、
moved
基本
for
的
her.
にいつでも好きなものを食べていいの。
Yeah, because that's kind of again, it's the place you go when nothing else can be done, so might as well find what little joys you can.
Yeah, I mean, that had been the clue that she was getting transferred. They let her eat the ice cream.
Well, answering, she started to quickly eat ice cream again.
たくさんの制約があった病棟から。
Oh, one second. Yeah.
Right, forgot the context.
And yet I'm a shill. And I've sold out.
Okay, because you overeat, basically everything anytime. Just trying to avoid full restrictions.
7階ではいきなり自由になるのよね。
Wow, Diane's the best.
However, the next one she spoke were a totally different tone.
説明。この意味がわかるわね。
I gave a small nod. What is a hospice? To that, there are people who say it is a place to wait new treatments, as well as people who say that it is a place to ease the heart. I'm sure that both of those were probably right. For myself, it seemed like Himiko-san's words were just not understandable.
そんなわけで、いつでも来てよね。今だから。
Her usual cheery face returned. Normally, she was like this, but I felt that once in a while the facial expressions and words she used were very severe. Which one was the real Himiko-san? I didn't know. Most likely both of them. Now when the sun had been so high, which had been so high, was setting. After I left the hospital, I returned home.
ただいま。
At the empty front door, my voice reverberated. In that closed-off room, the moment I opened the door, a blast of hot air had come out. I opened the living room window and let in the outside air. Even just that much cooled the room. Looking at the clock, it was 4 o'clock. Still early for Mother to come home. Plus my slightly sweaty sailor uniform. Say that 3 times fast. Slightly. Nope, not even gonna.
Can't do it the one time.
Do it one time.
Slightly sweaty sailor uniform. Slightly sweaty sailor uniform. Slightly sweaty sailor uniform. Maybe just leave out the uniform part, and it'll probably
Slightly
be
sweaty
slightly
sailor.
sweaty sailor. Slightly sweaty. Nope. Nope.
Nope, not happening. And then the washing
Leaves
machine and changed into pajamas. Reading word hard, speaking difficult. And
Yep.
then, after I finished washing the rice to help out Mother, who would be returning soon, I finished the preparations for making dinner. Since I was feeling well at this point, I set myself to doing at least this much. Really, I could just relax in my room, but instead I switched on the fan in the living room. Father and Mother are working in the middle of this heat. For me alone to be in a cool, air-conditioned room, it gave me a bad feeling, and I couldn't do it. She's home.
ただいま。
We got an
帰りな
Okasan.
さい。
Okasan returned from a part-time job. Almost always around this time, she would come home.
説明。もう晩ご飯済ませた？まだ。じゃあ一緒に食べましょう。今日もたくさんコロッケもらってきたから。
Sitting at the table across from each other, the two of us started an early dinner. Because Father's commute had lengthened, he often came home late, and so the times the two of us ate like this, separate from him, increased.
どう？美味しい？あ、よかったらポテトも食べてね。あなた好きでしょ？
I continued to eat them silently. Since then, it seemed Mother thought I liked them.
実はお母さんね、昨日からポテトあげる係になったのよ。だから実はこれだけ残り物じゃなかったりしてね。
Sneaking some fresh fries for her.
別に心配いらないわよ。
Gonna get fired.
あなたが好きだって言ったらね、お店の人たちも
She doesn't like
帰れ
them.
って言ってくれているんだし。
Cheerfully, happily, ignorantly, Mother spoke on. Exactly what were the conditions that led people at the store to say that, I didn't know. But just from imagining it, I was filled with guilt. For some reason, I was pained.
じゃあこれからも楽しみにしていてね。
I'm such a mother. All I could do was just stay quiet, continue eating the fries, trying as best as I could to eat as if they were delicious. That's a bummer.
Yep.
A few days after, with the usual cicadas and the sun consecutively setting record heat, under such a sky, I came here once again. A high ceiling, a white room, a small folding chair on which I sat. However, even though I came here, it was just I came here. Simply that. It's not like we talked about anything special, and at least I never brought up any interesting conversation topics. Just talk about TV shows I've watched and how I don't like children. It was just on the level of sitting next to the unilaterally chatting Himiko-san, making uninteresting responses. Oh, I like this cat girl, but I don't like most cat girls. It's really an exception.
一つ質問だけど、
Yeah, it is. Shikatra is the exception.
Decisively, I tried asking a direct question.
私といて楽しい。
Who was the next cat girl?
あなたといると退屈知らずよ。
I will never love another cat girl since Katra. I dare that will be my challenge to you, Gabe. Find me a cat girl like Katra.
Guess
I
I'll
can
go
send
watch
for.
Shiva first to see what I might be able to pull out.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm watch. You're not gonna like her. Like for some, like you're gonna hate Katra.
I have to
waiting
like her
for
just
it.
on principle. Just
Yeah,
for the
this-
fact that
I
she's a
know.
cat girl. Even if I have nothing else,
す
I'll
っ
just
ごく楽しいわ
I
よ。
want to force myself to stay on brand.
That would be the funniest thing. The first cat girl I've ever liked is the first cat girl you
That
dated.
would be very in tune for us, wouldn't it? It'd be par for the course.
Yeah.
すつみちゃんラブラブって感じかしら。
She must be toying with me on this cat girl discussion. I couldn't help thinking that, but Himiko-san was always like this. One-sidedly getting all worked up, whatever I said, and cheerfully following her own pace to the end. And then, just when we had that exchange... Good afternoon, said someone. The person who came in was an older lady I didn't recognize. It was the first time I saw anyone come to this room. Want to do your old lady voice? Your Hilda Hella impersonation?
Yeah. No, it just said older lady. It didn't say old lady. Well, now I gotta. Like, I have to find my dogs outside. He's. They left us on the police house. Here we go, son. How are you feeling?
まあ特にって感じかしら。
Today is a bathing day. What shall I do? I think I left something at the
お気
police
遣いどう
house.
もね。
Well then, if there's anything, feel free to say. I have to go walk my dog now.
I'm not sure if that person was a resident of the hospice or an employee. She doesn't seem like she should be taking care of others. With those final words, she left the room again. First, I thought it was a family member, but it seemed to be otherwise. Maybe it was a helper? She was wearing an apron. She seemed like one, but she was talking about walking dogs, and she seemed too old to take care of people her own age. She just somehow felt
の人
Himiko's gonna look over and be like, "Oh, that'll call her a sister. I'm done."
Yeah.
But like, that was.
Well, I don't know. I feel like they would have given her the voice if it was her sister. But I don't know. Maybe that's to kind of throw us off.
Maybe it's because this is from Setsumi's
Yeah,
perspective.
could be.
But Himiko just looks over and says, "You'll never guess what her name is and also what street she lives on."
2 streets. What 2 streets?
Two streets.
A
A
boulevard
street and a
and
boulevard.
Oh my god. That was such a good, stupid bit just because Brendan was so over it. He was like, alright, no, fuck it. If we're doing this, then we're doing it. I'm gonna drag it out and you have to deal with it now. How about that?
You're in this now.
ああ、ヘルパーの人よ。別の人の担当だけどね。
Oh God, my mom's asking if she just asked, "Are you using your computer now?"
Well, because there really did seem to be a difference. Himiko-san explained about helpers here. See, the helpers of the general ward are generally supposed to help people in the physical sense. Depending on the hospital, it could be a job, and there also seem to be people, or there's also seem to be some who look upon it as a form of part-time. Excuse me. Part-time work. Compared to that, the 7th floor helpers, because mental care was relatively important, if you came to use a part-time job, you apparently wouldn't be accepted.
まあ、少なくともこの病院、この7階では全員ボランティアなはずよ。そうなんだ。偉いんだね。
I was a bit impressed. Not even obvious, but I had heard that those who had not been informed beforehand could not enter the 7th floor. For those people who, by their own choosing, volunteer for free for the sake of those patients, I plainly felt admiration. But, that's my reaction, Himiko-san.
そうね。偉いわね。
She replied without conviction. Looking at it normally, you'd think you'd sense a bit of something like appreciation. And then Himiko-san's words from before. Though assigned to someone else, that someone else nagged at me. From just those words, one would think that Himiko-san's assigned helper also existed somewhere. But so far, I had never seen anyone like that.
姫子さんの担当の人は。ん？いないわよ。いない？どうして？だって私には必要ないもん。
Plainly, that was the only answer she gave. I didn't
Then
really
why?
understand. Maybe the 7th floor helpers would be refused if the patient said so. Certainly, Himiko-san, compared to other people at the 7th floor, could walk around normally, and because she was young, was lively, but from the things since I've come here, I haven't once seen any family members come to visit.
でも今はあなたが来てくれたからね。
It's as if she saw what I was thinking of life.
ありがとう。これで残り3つになったわ。残り
Three.
Leaves.
ええ。年の離れた友達が欲しかったのよ。ほらよくあるじゃない。死ぬまでにしたい10のことって。
So she's got about
Gotcha.
7 of her 10, perhaps. She lightly used the word dying. Might also be because she's at the 7th floor, but to have that word said in a cheery voice suddenly was drying. However,
Wait, okay? So that leaves 3. Just friends from different age groups, or
I think 3
list of things
she
on her.
wants to do before dying, yeah. I
Gotcha.
think like one of them was to
I was
make a
like,
friend in a
that's-
different age group, and she just did that, so that leaves 3 more things to do before she dies.
Gotcha. Oh God, this is gonna be to the moon for sure. Like,
We'll see.
just fulfilling her wishes before she dies.
What they were, I didn't know. How much time Yuriko-san had left, I also didn't know. There is no brain machine for me to input myself in this game. Looking at it the other way, I could see there were 3 things remaining.
まああれよ説明。聖書が正しければ世界は7日で作られたそうよ。だから私に残された時間でも大抵のことは可能だと思わない？ それ例えになってないわよ。まあそんなこと言わずにさ、残り3つなんだからよかったら付き合ってよ。
Looks like we become friends, the two of us. On the first week of meeting, I've been asked to go along with the 3 remaining things to do before dying. Miko-san's words. I didn't know how serious she was, but it seemed that I would probably be coming to this place often.
God, I hope they don't pull a Fault in Our Stars.
I never watched or read it. What are you referring to?
Oh, well, basically, it was like they, two terminally ill people meet, but like the one who seemed like and they were in the most danger of dying very quickly and suddenly they ended up surviving, and the one that like was totally like seemed fine for most of it, he just like died suddenly. So that'd be like horrible if
I know
like
these.
Himiko's the one that's like totally fine in the end.
Yeah. That could be a thing, I suppose. Let's see. Well, I guess probably not with what we are potentially spoiled on with like her age or whatever, but
Yeah, I don't think it will happen, but like that would just be a kick in the pants.
as the sun slowly sank and the sky stained orange, I left the hospital. Today I may have been at the hospital too long. As I was thinking that, my eyes landed on the schoolyard. Again, there were children running around happily. Even the metal bar I did the somersault on before had plenty of patrons today. Summer vacation, dusk, the voices of Higurashi, sweaty, playing children, disgusting maggots. Each and everything were the everyday parts that built up the scene of a common summer day.
I went up to fist bump them.
There was nothing out of place. No one who made a restrained face like mine from a single somersault. Is this a younger kid talking to her?
Yeah. One-san, what's wrong?
As I continued to stand gazing, one child that was playing spoke to me.
Did you want to play with the bar?
別に何でもないわよ。
With just that answer, I turned on my heel, making sure my bag hit him as I spun around.
I was waiting for it.
What?
I was waiting for it.
Looking up, the sky already darkening, I hurried home, afraid that his mom would be
Tadaima.
mad at me.
おかえり。
He
ちょうど晩
he
ご飯の
just
支度
laid
が
on
で
the
きたと
ground
ころよ。
crying after I knocked him over.
Looking at the clock, it was already about 7. Today, Mother had come home first. And together with Mother, we began our usual early dinner.
そういえば今日は遅かったわね。
I would assume she's also in her sailor uniform.
ちょっと病院寄ってたから。あら？今日って検診の日だっけ？
Oh no.
うん。そうじゃないけど。
I worried about how to answer. How should I talk about Himiko-san? Being an acquaintance seemed safe, but after thinking a bit, I decided to answer like Himiko-san said.
友達のところに行ってたから。友達？
In the hospital? My mother repeated my words back to me. She also had a surprised, unbelieving sort of expression. However, Mother having that kind of reaction was probably unavoidable. For the word friend to come out of my mouth was itself rare. Well, at the very least, in these past few years, it had probably been impossible.
そうよかったわね、節美。お友達ができて。
This time, she happily continued speaking. To that happy mother, I spoke about the events that happened up until now. That she was a very kind One-san. That lately I've been going to play every day. That often I was taken to go out to eat ice cream.
へえ、優しそうなお姉さんね。うん。
It's not like I was lying. But I wasn't able to say that she was a resident of the 7th floor. Well, I thought that I didn't know the exact reason. Being on the 7th floor wasn't Himiko-san's fault. It was no one's fault. I knew that. Because I was in a similar position. Because at some point, the people I knew disappeared. I knew it even more so. It's probably the feeling of not wanting to worry her. I'm sure the mother would imagine that it was another normal patient, or perhaps a nurse. But to deny that didn't seem like something I could do.
そうだ。じゃあ明日からお弁当も作ってあげようか。え、この距離でもわざわざ帰ってくるの面倒でしょ。
Well, they continued being happy. Lately, my health had been good, and probably hearing I had made a friend made her extra happy. I wouldn't say it out loud, but I think it hasn't been since the 6th grade trip. She had always put effort into making lunch for me.
任せて。豪華なの作ってあげるから。
For such a happy mother, I could say nothing. As always, all I could do was quietly eat the fries.
Where's the fries?
No more ice cream, now we're eating croquettes.
Okay. My mom made croquois. My mom made croquois. She made salmon croquois.
Croquois, very good.
Oh yeah, they were delicious. It was
Salmon croquois.
Yes, they were my first time ever having salmon croquois. I want to have those kind of Japanese style croquois. They always look good, but I'm pretty sure they're basically. I mean, the only difference is that this one was salmon. So like, it was really good though. I like the style of like just frying the patty and breading and frying the patty. It was real good. I want to try it.
Fried breading is always good.
Ah. Yeah. I guess I think I'm trying to think of other foods that you'd have the fried breading
I mean, it's
with.
just like kind of like, I just feel like it's just that deep fried kind of taste and flavors.
Yeah. Oh, I've made katsudon before. That was pretty good. That was more panko, those kind of panko breadcrumbs. So those were really good.
Shoot, I didn't see. I think it's probably Satsumi still, I guess. Even though it was still morning, it already felt like midday. Today also looked like it would be a hot day. In that walking the 3-minute distance, I again was headed toward the hospital. In my hands, the usual tote bag with a pattern of yellow sunflowers on white. Nothing in particular had changed from yesterday. Just another summer day. What different was, hidden inside that tote bag, the lunch that Mother had made for me.
おーい、説明。
All from far away, her voice was very close.
どうしたの？こんな場所で。待ってたのよ。ちょっと手伝ってほしくって。
Just those words seemed to solve the struggle. I swear I wish she never realized it was in the making of this.
はーい、到着。 ここがどうかしたの？うん、ほらそこ見てよ。そんなわけで、じゃーん！何それ？球根よ、球根。今からここに植えようと思ってね。勝手に植えていいの？うん。だってこの区画は冬用の場所だし。私が尋ねたのは勝手にの部分よ。大丈夫だって、別に怒られたりしないから。
Maybe it's one of the things on our bucket list.
しょうか。10センチほど折ってから球根を埋めてね。
She handed the bag of bulbs and a small gardening trowel over. Recently, the this wasn't a problem. I wonder if it was alright for him to sound this place in the sky. Couldn't help but worry that Marcus herself was putting forth a mason beard. Dig it. Maybe gardening was a hobby. Since her hands were done naturally well.
そうそう。そんな感じで軽く土もかけてね。あ、うん。
Once in a while, I watched and imitated her. She would give instructions.
ね。これって何の花なの？水仙よ。知ってる？あ、うん。名前くらいは。
Good. Having only seen them living on TV, this was the first time I'd held a ball like this.
あのね、これって珍しいのよ。そうなの。ええ。本来は夏の終わり頃だからね。
This scientific name was
Oh, well,
scientific name was
well.
Narcissu. I'm trying to. How did I say this stupidly in French? Narcissu. From the family of the. I'm not even gonna try that one in a stupid voice or in a real voice.
It's interesting that they spelled it without the S at the end. Like,
I wonder if it's got like a
it's called
dual
Narcissu.
upward play on words, maybe. We get to contextualize in some way.
Yeah.
Family of that. How you could grow those seeds, but since it didn't used to grow, bulbs or how in the dead of winter, when the flower beds were a lonely place, their single proud blooming form was impressive and beautiful.
やっぱり園芸が趣味なの？別に趣味ってわけじゃないわよ。じゃあどうして詳しいの？どっちかというと職業柄かな。
Before she was actually back to college. You understand. Still, I don't know much about them.
何に
Did
し
we
て
know why
こ
she
れが
likes
咲く頃には
flowers?
私はいないけどね。
Nothing's coming to mind.
Yeah, for me
I
it
guess
was all
maybe
about.
something with the church, but I don't really know how that would play into it either.
Yeah, the car and the beach are like the only two things that really stick out.
Denise Bloom won't be around. That's good. And as always,
Yeah.
cheerfully talk about things that make you stop short. What I knew was that she was a resident on the second floor, and that the rest of her time was within sight. And I know here she does not. Paying that note when she does these things, it was a person who would call carefree.
さて、だいたい終わったし、そろそろ部屋に帰りましょう。
Together, we carefully washed our hands and headed to the 7th floor. Right in front of us, we got off the elevator. As we got off the elevator, was a large cart carrying lunch. It was already that time. And so, then we got some lunch train in and went back to the room. Normally, when this time came, I'd be heading back home to eat lunch.
ねえ、せつみ、一緒に食堂行く？あなたも家まで帰るのめんどくさいでしょ。
Pulling her own tray, Kimiko-san made the suggestion. Normally, I would have wound up thinking it over, but today it was a bit different.
今日私、お弁当持ってきてるから。あなたお弁当持ってきてるの？うん。お母さんが作ってくれたから。
As I spoke, I took out the lunchbox from the tote bag and opened it on the small table near the bed. The frozen barley tea I brought along was now wilted just right for drinking.
どうかした？せつみ！びっくりした。私は今猛烈に感動してるのよ。 さかこんな場所にお弁当持参で来てくれる子がいるとは。ありがとう、ありがとね。抱きつかないで。ちょっとオーバーだったかしら。ねえねえ、一つもらっていい？どうぞ。いただきまーす。でっからこれカレーコロッケね。
Not korokke, it's korokke. Wasn't supposed to be all that spicy. Himiko-san drank far too much water.
大丈夫？実は私って辛いの超苦手なんだ
Something you
よ
have in
ね。
common.
Unlike her normal image, some tears were in her eyes. She looked so pitiful. I decided to tell her what was in them. Yeah,
これが野菜コロッケ。
korokke.
そっちはかぼちゃ。手前のは肉コロッケよ。
Korokke.
もしかして見ただけで中身がわかるの？
I gave enough utterance with my protagonist power. So, to show the happily who have doubted when they saw me, split open the croquet with my chopsticks.
ほら、合ってるわよ。なんでわかるのよ。外見全く同じなのに。全く同じってわけでもないわ。
Smell it.
少なくとも私には見分けつかないわね。ねえ、もしかしてコロッケに詳しいの？別に。
Basically, from eating them every day, I just learned to pick out the little differences between the outsides.
ごちそうさまでした。
Once our meal was finished, I placed the now empty box. I placed the now empty lunchbox once again into the door.
ねえ、コロッケ博士。はい。食後のアイスに行かない？博士も。
Maybe the Professor Croquet with me.
変なあだ名つけないでよ。気に入らなかったみたいね。
Voices and noisily crying cicadas and Emerson's bright happiness rang out in the narrow room. There, always bright and cheery, was Emerson. And just maybe, I too was smiling. The nickname got to her.
Gosh. The character development.
Afterwards, we passed time in the usual room. Kiara? When we parted, I was making to leave the 7th floor.
ちょっと。
Turning around, there was an Onesan I didn't know. Chihiro?
This might be the first time we've seen her.
I think so. A cute,
No, it's the rosary.
yeah, cute frilly skirt, a red apron, and a rosary on her chest left an impression. I like the little, whatever that kind of hat is. I don't know what's the name.
Yeah, I don't know the name of them, but
Kind of like a beret, maybe? I don't know if that's right. I think
yeah, I wasn't sure. Yeah, it almost looks like a bandana, but
yeah, kind
I'm
of.
pretty sure
It
it's
looks a little
that.
looser. Other helpers I've seen before wore the same aprons. So that probably meant this person was also a helper.
私に何か。ここは関係者か肉親以外ご遠慮いただいているのですが。あ、それともどちらかのご家族の方でしたか？
For a moment, I thought about how to answer, and then slowly opened my mouth.
姫子って人の友達。あなたが友達？ そう言われているわ。何？あ、いえ、なんでもないです。失礼しました。
With those words, the Onesan once again went off somewhere.
Wait, so. Wait. Yeah, I think I just zoned out.
What up? What did you miss?
Okay, that she's a friend of
Yeah, so that's what I've been
Himiko's.
told.
That's it. That's what I've been told. That I'm a friend of hers.
Yeah. What was that just now? Probably a helper, but around when the sun had completely set, and today's dinner was ending.
まあ、綺麗に食べてくれたのね。
At the empty lunchbox, mother looked pleased.
じゃあ、明日からも作ってあげるわね。うん。ありがとう。
Truth was, Himiko-san had eaten the fries for me, but I wasn't about to reveal that. Once I opened the window in the room, just a bit of cool night wind came in. My room. By the window, the sailor uniform was drying. The sweltering summer heat made me want to turn on the air conditioner, but when I thought about father, who still hadn't come home yet, I stopped. Come to think, Himiko-san. In the end, she was really vague about it, but I wonder if planting flowers in the flower bed without permission would cause her any problems. On top of that, the story from before about how she didn't need a helper and how no one came to visit her was also mysterious. Name, Himiko. Libra. Blood type AB. ID basic color was white. I still probably didn't know anything about One-san. Pretty sus.
You know her zodiac sign and
Make generalizations over
blood
that.
types.
So we can make generalizations about her blood type and zodiac.
Yeah, for sure.
In a deserted lounge, while watching the daytime news and personally playing on the television, we ate.
やっぱこのコロッケ美味しいわね。
Today again, Himiko-san seemed to want the dishes in my lunch. I also knew that hospital food was bad. So on top of the table, my lunch and Himiko-san's hospital meal was spread out and the two of us ate together.
ねえ、次は野菜コロッケが欲しいんだけど。右端のよ。はーい。ありがとう、節見博士。もう教えてあげない。うん、冗談だって、冗談。ねえ、以前から気になってたんだけど、もしかして嫌いなの？結局、昨日も私一人でポテト食べたじゃない。嫌い。じゃあ、どうしよう。
She used kirai. She didn't say she didn't like them. She said she hated them.
I dislike them the most.
Yeah.
What should I answer? I debated a bit. Was kirai too much? Was that a bit extra? No, it was the truth.
好きだと思っているから、お母さんは。あなたも大変そうね。
Probably. Even with just that, my meaning went through. It was like before with the clothes. For some reason, Himiko-san seemed to see through the heart of things. However, the words that Himiko-san spoke next was clearly in a different tone of voice.
でも、それは優しさじゃないわよ。まだあなたには理解できないでしょうけど、相手を気遣っているつもりなら大間違いね。
Speaking of experience, mistake, not kindness. At the very least, those words weren't directed at mother, but probably towards me. Right or wrong. If it's that, I understand. And I don't think not saying how I feel is right. Really, the truth was kindness. To say what mother had gone through for my sake was something I actually hated. It Would that be kindness? Afterwards, I was asked to go shopping at the store for Himiko-san. As I left the elevator on the 7th floor, I was again headed to the lounge.
あれ
In the hallway, just before the lounge, I saw Himiko-san talking to someone. I was sure that person was the helper that had spoken to me the other day. I thought about going up and speaking to them as the two of them spoke, but for some reason, sensing that I was in that kind of atmosphere, I couldn't help but watch them fly.
ほら今日の分の点滴まだなんだから分かってるわよ今から帰るとこだってそれと午後からの入浴の仕方だけど千尋私が知らないとでも思って別にそんな意味じゃだったら余計な気遣いは無用よあなたこそ自分の担当のもとへ帰りなさい
Such a hero isn't assigned to her.
Hmm.
And then the unknown Nane-san left like that. Without a doubt, that was the person who spoke to me the other day.
ねえ今の人はただのヘルパーよ
Oof. It answers if she could
Wow.
just decide. I have no sister. To me, from the explanation I heard about the helpers on the 7th floor, I thought they were very admirable. And yet, looking at Himiko-san, I didn't see if she felt like that. Especially with the person just now, I felt she had even been cold. Perhaps seeing that I wanted to say something, Himiko-san entered the lounge before us. And sitting on the sofa, she offered the chair facing her.
実は私もヘルパーやってたことあるのよえここでだから知り合いなのよ
That was unexpected. For me, the bright, cheery Himiko-san and the image of a helper just wouldn't connect. At least, my image of the helpers on the 7th floor was that they were always calm and collected. But when I thought about it, part of it did fit. Patients on this floor, like any patients of other wards, were away in freedom. However, even among them, I had thought Himiko-san was special. For some reason, it felt as if she were allowed to get away with even more. The questions I had before, while planting in the garden without permission, and how she said she didn't need an assigned helper. She would randomly give friendly nods to doctors and nurses. Surely, because she had been a helper before in this hospital, she had probably been allowed more.
ねえ一つ質問していいどうしてヘルパーやってたの
This time, I tried voicing my next question. Even if it were true that Himiko-san had previously been a helper, why she would work as one, I couldn't imagine. At least, from what I knew about Himiko-san, I thought she would be indifferent to something like volunteering or being a helper.
うちはカトリックだからねカトリックええ私の両親もそうだけどこういう福祉活動にはよく参加するのよ
That was even a more unexpected answer. Of course, I myself knew absolutely nothing about Christians or religious matters. But even then, compared to the helper just before, I felt that religion was even farther from my image of Himiko-san.
それにほらここってキリスト教病院でしょ
That makes sense.
それは知ってるだから余計にね
She spoke as if that were the answer to everything. Certainly, I hadn't really considered it up until now. But now that she mentioned it, I did occasionally see people who looked like priests and sisters. But still, for us normal sick people, there were a few things that we noticed about the kind of hospital it was. Instead of those details, whether there was specialization in surgery, or whether there was a famous internist present, from those a hospital would be chosen. However, for the people who work there was probably a huge
で
difference.
も所詮私はエセカトリックよ
internist. What an internist does and when you need one. So that's a fake Catholic.
そうなの。
What is an internal medicine physician or internist is a doctor that specializes in the internal organs, including the heart, kidney, liver, and lungs. I guess because when you get old, those are the ones that are going to fail on you first.
偶然教会の隣に家があったってだけだし。
Himiko-san answered in her usual cheery way. Whether those words were the truth or a lie, I didn't know. However, just that time, her gaze shifted to the window, and that profile that I couldn't see clearly, I thought there was some denial of those words.
でもね、まさか逆に自分が7階に入るとは思わなかったわ。やっぱ罰が当たったのかもしれないわね。
She had been smoten. The long summer day slowly ended. Unusually, father was home early, so today our family of 3 ate dinner together. Since we moved, his commute lengthened, and it's been a while since the 3 of us gathered around the dinner table like this. Okay.
You made a friend?
No male voices here, thank you very much.
だから最近は毎日出かけているのよ。
Isn't that great, Setsumi?
Mm.
At making a friend, father also became happy. I'm pretty sure that because my health had been well lately, father was even more pleased. Before, the 3 of us would always eat dinner together. But now, because he comes home late, mother and I together was normal. There were also times when she would come home late from a part-time job and I would eat alone. That was the norm now. Since that day 3 years ago, days of going in and out of the hospitals. Yumiko-san said that she herself was being punished. Did I also do something wrong? Was being punished? Was it because I hit that kid? My bag?
That's exactly what it was.
I mean, that's basically a public service. And the one who's being punished, was it myself or my parents? Perhaps both?
どうかした説明。
うん。なんでもない。
Just getting existential. Opening the window, even in such stuffy heat, the night breeze felt nice. There were many things I didn't understand. But if we were being punished, then who was doing the punishing? If I said I'm sorry to that person, will we be forgiven? I, who would silently eat fries, had also been called unkind. Himiko-san, for some reason, came close to me. Until now, outside of family, others had done the reverse and avoided me. I'm sure that's true for her also. It was because there was no one else. So probably it was because she was bored. Time for a manicure.
Oh my gosh, we're doing the girl bonding times already. Well, I mean, that's kind of been what this has been, but with nails. Do we know how many characters there are in this game? In this first one?
I mean, judging on how that screen looked, there was 7 on this side, so maybe 20-ish? 21 maybe? It was like 7. And then there's another row in the middle with 7, and then another one like on the right. Kind of was how it looked like it was formatted. So
I mean, for all we know, there could be more, and then you flip through the pages or
or
something.
there could
But
be less also. I'm not sure. I'll guess 20. I could look it up, but I'm not positive.
gotcha, no problem. I was just curious.
Burning sunlight and the pouring of cicadas' cries. Pitch black shadows were right underfoot. After having overslept, I was now headed to the usual place. Ah, Hilda.
Oh yeah, I wasn't sure if this was gonna be Himiko or Hilda. Morning, you're here late today.
Greeting off the elevator, I exchanged light greetings with a nurse I became acquainted with.
Oh,
By
just
now,
a nurse.
Even if I enter the 7th floor, no one challenged me. Maybe, at this rate, I too might become a person of this place. When the thought suddenly came, I was afraid. Continuing down the wide hall, I headed to the now familiar room of Himiko-san.
入るわよ。
And when I went to Himiko-san, who had probably been waiting, books, perhaps. Spread atop the bed, thin volumes that Himiko-san gazed at. What those were, I didn't know, but the face was different from her usual bright expression.
何見てるの？地図よ。地図。
With just that answer, her gaze once again returned to the pages. There was an expression I never saw before. A lonely, and yet also somehow calm expression.
面白い。別につまらないわ。
Her words said so, but her face wouldn't turn this way. And even though she said it was boring, she continued staring with a lonely gaze. You don't have to look. Even as I thought that, I gazed along with her. There was nothing else to do, nothing else I could do. Spread atop the bed, the maps of some place. On them were a number of large highways and roads, places with unfamiliar names. I felt like a slight Himiko-san who continued gazing, but for me, I couldn't find enjoyment in doing this.
退屈でしょ？いいのよ。私だってつまらないと思うもの。じゃあ、どうして見てるの？さあ、どうしてだろうね。
And as she answered with that, Himiko-san continued to gaze. Himiko-san herself didn't know the reason, and there was no way I could understand. While thinking that, and just when I thought she would remain that way for a while, she slowly murmured,
でもね、まだあなたには必要ないものよ。それはいつか必要になるってこと。
When you have your driver's license.
さあ、それもあなた次第かしら。
Occasionally, Himiko-san spoke as if she could see clear to my thoughts. There were also times when she would suddenly toss out words like Zen riddles. What those were aiming at, I didn't know. But for some reason, often I would wind up nodding.
ねえ、説明知ってた？もしどこか行きたい場所があったとして、どれだけの予算があれば足りると思う？わからないわ。
At the second question, I answered honestly. I never thought about such a thing.
私の計算によるとね、5万円よ。そんなに？そう考えちゃダメよ。逆に言えば、それだけあれば日本中どこだって行けるってことよ。
It's $500 or 5,000? 50,000 yen.
Hold on, go back to the number so I can do the
50,000 yen.
placements.
I think it'd be $500.
Yeah,
right?
$500.
For
Yeah.
anywhere in Japan. That's pretty. I wonder if that's because like trains or just you could drive
I
that
think
far
that's
on
including
gas?
like fare, where you want to stay, food.
Seems cheap. Even hearing that sum to me it meant nothing. Also, I couldn't see the intention behind letting me hear it. Perhaps it simply meant that for Himiko-san, she had a place she wanted to go to. And
It could also be the mind of like a high schooler. Like $500 seems like a lot of money to like you're like in high school or middle school or however old she is. But then when you're an adult, she was like, think of it this way.
Yeah.
Like it's not enough for rent. Like it's enough for
Let's
to go anywhere.
It's a plane ticket and a hotel room or something. But if it's trains
Yeah.
and stuff, that could be cheaper. Someday
Yeah.
I too would have such a place born within me. Perhaps she also wanted to say that.
Oh wait, that could be a lie. I think salt
But
said like
I
some
still
trains are
make
like really expensive actually, so I'm sure it depends.
Also, this game is old, so 50,000 yen could have been some more back
You
then.
got a good point there.
Yeah.
Inflation.
With that, she folded the maps and stood.
私、検温あるから先に行ってて。うん。
Leaving Himiko-san, I waited for the elevator. All around, I could see the So when they say pajama wearing, I'm assuming they just mean like the kind of nightgowns. Like I feel like saying their pajamas is not what we would call them in English necessarily.
Well, I mean, I can see the hospital having like a
Hospital pajamas.
2-set for patients. Like,
Like when I search hospital pajamas, they come up with maternity wear. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think that's what they would be doing. Yeah, it comes up with maternity. Like, I know what they're talking about. I just didn't. I don't think I would refer to them as pajamas.
yeah, okay. I mean,
I
yeah.
guess it could also be Jap. Maybe it is in Maybe in Japan it is like pajamas they give you or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, if they give you house shoes at schools,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I feel like
I guess that's
it's
a
not
good
too
point.
far out there.
All around, I can see the pajama-wearing people of the 7th floor. These people. I wonder if they have a place they wanted to go to, just like Himiko-san. Or perhaps people of a certain age, from having already given up, or taken a more philosophical view. Maybe they don't think about such things.
節美さんでよかったかしら。あなたは確かヘルパーの。はい、この7階を担当させていただいております。
Was the helper who had spoken to me before. The other day, Himiko-san had been speaking with her and said she was an acquaintance.
それで姫子さんのお姉ちゃんのことですけど。
Oh no.
お姉ちゃん。
With that word, I can make a guess at how things stood. Before, Himiko-san said she had once been a helper on the 7th floor, that her family was Catholic, and she had also participated in public welfare activities. Then, for this younger sister to be a helper here in the same way was not surprising.
それで私に何か。もし節美さんが無理して一緒にいるようでしたらと思って。別にそんなことないわよ。だったらいいんですが、以前は明るくて優しいお姉ちゃんだったんですけど。
She is just not around you, I guess. So,
Yeah, I mean, they established she's kind of cold around her. But I mean, after what we saw with her, how she pushed Yuka away, like, so she doesn't get too attached, or at least can, like, ease her death onto her sister in a fucked up way.
It is odd though that she'd still like she got her checklist. You know, she's like, okay, now we're friends with someone in a younger group. That she's not. I guess it could be a thing later that she's like, okay, too real, getting too close here, I'm in too deep. Gotta cut off the high schooler here.
Yeah.
Saying that, she sadly lowered her head a bit. Certainly, I also had similar impression when we met the other day. At least her behavior towards this kind-looking younger sister, I thought seemed very cold. However, towards myself, there was no need of that had been. Even now, I believed she was kind.
千尋、何をやっているの？お姉ちゃん。前にも言ったわね。余計なことを喋ってる暇があったら、自分の担当の人をしっかり見るべきでしょ。
I almost wonder if she's like jealous of the assigned person.
それは分かってるけど。
Probably not.
I could see that being it.
But your initial reaction is to think that she told her to like be assigned to someone else to get her mind. I guess it's probably more so like get your mind off of me for the love of God. You're assigned to someone else. I don't want you thinking about me. More
Yeah,
so.
that makes a lot more
あなた
sense.
もヘルパーならば、自分の責務を全うしなさい。
Because you also get the sense she doesn't want her to be doing this as it is. So she's like,
Yeah, I mean, she's as doting as she is. She probably wants to be at her bedside 24/7, right? Like,
and she
so-
doesn't want her here, and also didn't like that she was a helper. So she's getting kind of petty. Like, if you're gonna do it, then do it. Don't half-ass it and worry about me, sort of thing.
行きましょう、節美。
yeah.
You can't sit with us. Speaking elaborately, and then leaving her sister there, Himiko-san quickly walked ahead. Even as I felt somewhat bad, I followed after. Again, today sitting facing each other, we ate vanilla.
悪かったわね。変なとこ見せて。今の人が妹さん。ええ、そうよ。
While speaking, Himiko-san began eating her second ice cream.
どうしてあんなにもしかして妹のこと？
Gave a small nod. It was Himiko-san's own sister, and as someone who been the same kind of, I suppose to be who had been the same kind of helper before, I thought she would understand her feelings. It might not have been something an outsider should be interfering with, but still, I felt the younger sister to be unfortunate and was sorry for her.
あんなに優しくていい人なのに。そうね。優しくていい人だからよ。よくわからないわ。いいのよ。これもまだあなたには必要ないから。
Well,
ただいま。
okay.
We were promised fingernails.
おかえり。ちょうど晩ご飯の支度できたわよ。
Yeah, we were.
お腹減ったでしょ。
うん。
With a nod, I headed over today's empty lunchbox.
はい、たくさん食べてね。
On top of the dinner table, there were a number of dishes, and as always, the fried things from the part-time job.
あ、ほら、またあげてきたわよ。
With that, she offered the plate of fries. Their slightly fat slicing was a distinctive feature. But today, the hand that held the plate was different from before.
お母さん。手。
Oh, Mother got her hands
Oh,
painted.
ああ、大したことないわよ。やっぱり油使うからね。
Oh, maybe she's burned.
Oh, yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. She answered cheerfully. Were those the mark of a burn? It's slightly red. Of course. Oh, it is kind of both, I guess. Before, while beautifully painted with manicures, Mother would show them to Father and me with pride. At that figure, happily excited over such a small thing, Mother and I would look at each other and give a wry smile. And when she got a strange color, even while saying I was 10 years too young, she had painted my nails too. But now it was different. The pink manicures had faded, and in their place was a slightly red skin of roughened hands. Why they become that way, the reason was easy enough to imagine. For whose sake they become that way, that didn't even take imagining. And exactly because of
So,
this,
can you? Sorry, I got distracted. Can you go back to the line before that? They're so loud outside. Can you hear that?
yeah. I wasn't gonna comment, but yeah.
Slightly red skin, rough hands. Okay. Okay, yeah, alright. This is what I thought it read. Their voices were so loud, it was completely over you. Like, I think I might need to turn it up on my end. I don't think you have to turn up.
Yeah. I mean, I can speak louder as well, but I was, in character-ish.
Yeah, I got
soft
you.
voice, so. And because of that, it was painful for me. It tortured me. So I'm so glad I gotta read it again.
どうしたの？今日のも揚げたてよ。
That isn't kindness. I recalled Himiko-san's words. I felt that I understood. Betraying good intentions or being silent with lies. Both were wrong.
ねえ、お母さん。
どうかした節味。美味しいわよ。
I don't like fries.
まあ、ポテト担当になって少しはお母さんの腕も上がったみたいだしね。
本当に暗いです。Really?
With the hands that were different from those days. With a smile that was unchanged from those days, Mother happily offered me fries. In front of such a mother, I could do nothing other than quietly eat the fries. If I were to say that
Gotta be a meme. Eat the fries. Just instead of like F, just eat fries.
If I were to say the truth here, if I were to truly apologize, the person who's punishing us, that person out there somewhere, would they relent? Or would they just make a meme of it?
Wow, Pain Pecco, eating fries.
A few days later, with the sun shining directly overhead, I headed to the usual room. I'd heard that this summer was a cooler summer than average, but it still seemed like it was gonna be a hot day.
おはよう。節美、待ってたわよ。 旦那かには。そうじゃないけど、まあ行きましょうよ。
Just then, she started to walk towards the outside of the hospital.
ちょっとどこ行く気よ。ほら、前にも言ったでしょ。の
Remaining at first, I couldn't remember what she was talking about.
例の死ぬまでにしたい10。そうそう、残り3つのうちの1つなんだけどさ、ちょっと行って確かめてみたいことがあってね。
As she spoke, I still continued walking. Already, she was quite a ways from the hospital.
一体どこまで行くつもりよ。結構遠いわよ。電車でも片道2時間くらいかしら。
Back to the beach.
先生の外出許可はもちろん無断よ。
People fucking tracking her down.
Jeez.
Even if it's
This is gonna go well.
Yumiko-san, she was resident in the 7th floor. I had the feeling that just up in the hospital and going that far wasn't allowed.
大丈夫よ。そんな不安そうな顔しなくても。そりゃ外で見つかったらさすがに怒られるかもしれないけど、ちょっとくらいは多めに見てもらえるからさ。
Just saying that much, she used to walking again. Is she being serious? Certainly, no explanation of the translation. And then, there's one other thing that
ところで、その格好のまま行くの？
raised the simple question about Yumiko-san was dressed in pajamas. At least to ride on the train, I thought that was a bad way to go about things.
もちろんこのままよ。このまま着替えないの。いいのよ。これが私のユニフォームなんだから。
Okay. This might be what the audio was doing for me. That was weird for you. You sound really muffled. Like, almost like you're underwater.
Is it like going in and out when it does that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what was happening for you. You sound fine after I talked about
I know,
it.
now you sound good. But, like, just a second ago, you, like, for the duration of, like, this segment, you were, like, sounding really muffled. But I thought it was just, like, the way I was laying on my headphones or something. But, nah, you sound better now.
Okay. Yeah, I was doing that for me earlier. I don't know what that was about. 5 minutes of walking around when the number of people walking the streets increased. I wasn't too familiar with things, but it seemed she was heading to the station. Certainly she had said it was 2 hours each way. Just how far was she planning on going? Riding on a train. Oh, I think we get quite far.
ね。駅からどこに向かうの？海までよ。正確にはパイナップルの木がある場所かしら。パイナップル。
Pineapples.
Mother said I wasn't familiar with. I didn't know pineapple trees existed in the first place.
ほら、よく大きな建物の前なんかにさ、フェニックスって呼ばれている木があるでしょ？うん、知ってる。あれってさ、
Yeah.
絶対にパイナップルの木だと思わない？
Indeed, they did look very similar, but
だからさ、試しに切ってみて、中身を確かめてみたいのよね。ねえ、もし本当にパイナップルの木だったら大変よ。
was she being serious? From a common sense standpoint, it had to be a joke. But with Himiko-san simply being as she always was, it's impossible to tell.
何よその顔は。もしかしてバカにしてる？
そうじゃないけど、ありえないと思う。
もうコロッケ博士のくせに頭が固いわね。何事も実際に試してこそでしょ。
博士、関係ないわよ。それにフェニックスの木だったら病院にもあるし、どこにでもあるじゃない。
ダメよ。もっと大物で試さないと面白くないでしょ。
I didn't really know how serious she was, but together with Himiko-san, we headed towards the station. Finally, we were just about to reach the station. The line was 10 minutes, walking under the blazing sky was unexpectedly difficult. And as I had thought, it seemed Himiko-san's pajama-clad figure stood out into walking by our glasses.
本当に行くの？
もちろんじゃない。そのためにここまで。隠れて。
Suddenly, Himiko-san went to hide beneath something. Before I knew, I was also holding my breath in the shadow of the building.
どうしたの？
外科病棟の先生だわ。向こうは4階チーフの看護婦さんもいるし。
She mentioned there were faces that I recognized.
そっか。病院の関係者はこの駅から通っていたのね。これじゃ見つかって怒られちゃうわ。
Himiko-san laughed in a carefree and sunny way. There was no sense of planning or anything else. Anyways, surely she had been helpful before. She didn't notice.
だって私の家って近所だから電車で通ったことないんだもん。
私だってそうよ。
でもやっぱあれね。勝手にルールに含まれてないわね。ルール？いやいや、あなたには関係ないことだから。
それでどうするの？
そりゃ出直すに決まってるでしょ。
Quickly, the decision came. Although she had been so determined to go until now. If she really wanted to go, it was after the one crush I knew. It would be even easier riding the train without being seen. Maybe she hadn't been serious to begin with. The sun was still hot, and around now, the shops in the marketplace were opening up.
さて、せっかく駅前まで来たんだし、寄り道でもしますか。
As she spoke, Himiko-san wandered among the shops along the street. Looks like, even though she gave up on riding the train, she didn't intend on going straight back to the hospital. Hopelessly, I obeyed and followed after. As always, because of her pajamas, people would glance over, but seeing that Himiko-san herself didn't mind one bit. And then it stopped in front of one storefront.
この服、なんかいいわね。
She touched a number of clothes decorating the front of the shop. But they were all frilly kinds of things. However they looked, they were meant for cute girls. They made a nice little fit with the song.
そういうのが好きなの？
まさか私にこんな少女趣味ないわよ。
As I registered what she said, she had to display the clothes in her hands before me.
似合うわよ、つつみ。
I thought Yuka was gonna come into play here.
ほら、いつもセーラー服だけどさ、こういうのも似合うだろうって思ってたのよ。ね、買ってあげようか、このワンピース。
でも
遠慮しなくていいって、お姉さんからのプレゼントなんだから。
I don't want it. It would have been a lie. For someone who only had a single uniform, it was a very tempting proposition.
姫子さんの服は？
私は必要ないわ。だってこれがユニフォームだもん。
With that, she pointed at her own pajamas.
だったら私もいい。
あら、 別に私に合わせる必要ないわよ。だってあなたはまだ選べるんだからさ。
Well, I wanted to reply. I swallowed my words. It was said in the usual right tone. The words can still choose. And that I realized the very heavy meaning of their words.
やっぱり
残念ね。絶対に合うと思ったのに。まあ、気が変わったら言って。いつでも買ってあげるからね。
After that, we wandered around the station a while, had ice cream together, and headed back to the hospital. When she found similar clothes in other shops, she continued to say she'd buy them for me. But in the end, I kept refusing. The daytime had been so hot and hazy. But now in the huge sky, the face of the moon peeked out. As usual, after eating dinner, I returned to my room and relaxed. By the window, washed and drying on the hanger, was the sailor uniform. While gazing at it, I suddenly thought about the time I had gone to school. Right now, my health was good, so one could forget. But in reality, I was someone who was admitted in and out of hospitals. Already, over 2 years have passed since I've been away from the place called school. A different plane of existence.
Yeah, for sure.
In that time, I hadn't once thought about wanting clothes other than pajamas. There hadn't been any pressure from such a need either.
でも今日は少しだけ心が揺れた。
Perhaps it would have been better
Not the Kokoro.
had I admitted I wanted the clothes. Himiko-san herself was stubbornly in pajamas, and being the only one to get new clothing made me feel bad. Besides, no matter where Himiko-san was in her pajamas, she was dignified. Compared to that, I always felt somehow sorry. Like I'm somehow doing something embarrassing. I can't help it. Or maybe Mother, who had stopped getting manicures and wetting her hands. Her father, who continued long commutes in the same suit. They saw me happily wearing cute clothing. Perhaps to both of them would be a happy thing. But that, for me, I think would have been difficult.
ポテトが嫌いということ以上に難しいと思えた。
Yeah, I could see that being the case.
I'm gonna take a break here to use the restroom and get ice cream
I
myself.
was gonna say the same thing, actually. Just about the restroom, though.
Oh, not ice cream.
No ice cream for me, unfortunately, but I will definitely take a break to use the restroom real quick.
These are like go by the ideals of one, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe she catch
I don't know,
it
man.
sometimes.
Oh yeah, that would be a big flag too.
Jiro-san walked toward the entrance that we had come from. When I walked after the same way, suddenly her feet stopped and she turned around.
あ、そうだ。さつみさん、こっち向いて。
Sign at the cross of the door, please. Get down on your knees again. I wondered what she was going to do. She once again placed her hands together.
あなたの上に主の豊かな恵みと祝福がありますように。
Oh yeah, I'm feeling those bountiful blessings, alright.
私のために。もちろん私は司祭様じゃないから気持ちだけだけどね。
After that, we left the church and in front of the hospital we parted. For me, it had all been new experiences.
教会やカトリックのことは
All I knew was that I had reconfirmed that Chihiro-san was a very kind and good person, stopping me in the middle of the street and taking me to the church out of nowhere. Very kind.
Just to pray for me.
Right, I mean, she did have good intentions. It wasn't like...
Yeah.
She's not like, you are now saved. She was just like, I want to pray for you. Which, I mean, in her case, it's one of the only things she can do. Like, she's not a doctor or anything. She's just doing her best to care for her. And also, the
True.
Himiko-san that acted so coldly towards her was apparently a devoted Catholic. Slightly late, I came to the usual place. For some reason, I couldn't find Himiko-san in the hospital room, or even in the lounge. Wonder where she went. Oh, good, Hilda is here to tell me.
If you're looking for Himiko-san, she's in the courtyard. Where are my glasses?
As I peered around, a nurse spoke to me with a dog in her hand.
It's hot, so tell her not to overdo things.
わかった。
When I looked, Himiko-san was in the middle of watering the flowers.
おはよう、節実。今日も暑いわね。
As she spoke, she held a hose single-handedly and was spraying the flowers with vigor. However, her outfit was the usual pajamas and slippers, and then maybe to defend against sunstroke, on her head she wore a straw hat. That image was oddly comical, and yet mysteriously seemed just like Himiko-san. Did that Himiko-san I pointed to the place we planted the bulbs the other day?
もう目が出てくるの。
そんなに早くは無理よ。
Then she showed me a carefree smile. She had been called a devoted Catholic, but for her to have an heir like Chihiro-san had praying in the church, at least to me, was unimaginable.
ここはこうや。だから花が咲くのよ。え？盛んに花を咲かせ、喜び喜んで歌う。知ってる？イザヤ書の言葉よ。
Shook my head. I didn't really know. It was probably from some kind of scripture. Just now, as I was having that thought, Himiko-san's sudden words surprised me. And then while I was thinking about that, Hilda?
Oh, no, someone different.
Somewhere came a nurse, someone I hadn't seen before, and it seemed like someone from a floor I didn't know.
Thank you very much, Himiko-san. I don't know. They're just saying person. Is it? Whatever.
ついでに他の花にも水あげといたから。
So which is better? I was thinking of taking some.
なんかよ。
The third floor's X-ray waiting room.
じゃあ、鉢植えでもいいわね。
As she spoke, she scooped out a number of yellow and white pansies and moved them into the plastic bag.
Thank you very much. I'll be going then.
Johnny! Taking the plastic bag into her
Johnny.
hands, the nurse disappeared into the building once more. On leaving, her hands made a cross. Maybe that was it. Her hands made a cross. That's weird. Maybe that nurse was also a Catholic.
Like, I'm just saying, like, the power of Christ compels you cross.
Or
Like,
like doing like an X almost, like stop.
stop.
I don't really understand it, but it seems this flower bed Himiko-san could plant and pick as many as she pleased. I believe not because she was a resident on the 7th floor, but because in this hospital she seemed to be officially recognized.
今の看護婦さんも知り合い。
ええ、他にも知り合いは大勢いるわよ。
The uniform helper I heard about. But did this come from just that alone? I almost wonder if her family like owns the hospital or something.
Oh my god, that would. I mean, it would fill in some blanks.
Thinking about how this was a Christian hospital, and then how she'd been called a devout Catholic earlier, I had a feeling there was a link.
何よ、その不思議そうな顔は。別に何か権限をもらってるわけじゃないわよ。私は元ヘルパー。 今は7階の住人。ただちょっとキャリアが長かったからそれなりに顔が利くって程度よ。
And she added that while she was my age, she had come in and out. She had come in and out of here often. From those words, having a long career didn't simply mean being a helper. Now that she mentioned it, she had once said that Catholics were involved in various public welfare activities. Looking at it like that, probably it was just as Chihiro-san said. Himiko-san might be a devout Christian.
どうしたの？まだなんか聞きたいの？
どうして姫子さんはお祈りとかしないの？
お祈り？この私が？
だって敬虔なクリスチャンなんでしょ？
そうね。エセカトリックが気に入らないなら元クリスチャンでもいいわよ。
That would mean in the past it was true, but now it wasn't.
じゃあもうお祈りすることはないの？
ないわ。
Firmly denied.
ついでに言わせてもらうとさ、祈りがあるってことは呪いもあるってことだと思わない？
No? But okay.
Didn't really get it, but suddenly being asked such a question, I couldn't gather my thoughts. And there was the problem that I didn't know the difference between prayers and curses.
それよりも明日行こうと思うんだけど。ほら、この前は無理だったでしょ？
Did she mean the thing about the pineapple tree? In the end, we just went before the station that day, but gave up and came back. She had said we'd go again at a later date,
でも
but
どうやって行くの？
大丈夫だって。お姉さんに任せなさい。とりあえずせっかくだからお弁当忘れないようにね。
as the sun was slowly setting, once again, the two of us sat around the dinner table.
明日はお弁当2人分？
いいかな？
Because tomorrow I was going out with Himiko-san, I tried asking for a lunch for two. However, even though my health had been good lately, and mother said no, I was planning on giving up on the idea.
やっぱりダメ？
もうそんなわけないでしょ。お母さん張り切って作ってあげるわよ。
Instead of worrying about me, mother simply gave her okay. In fact, she seemed even happier than usual.
ねえ、そのお友達の姫子さんって何か苦手なものあるのかしら？
God.
ブロッコリー。
わかったわ。
Just like God.
言わないようにして。
Perhaps.
そうそう。今度よかったらうちにも遊びに来て。
Oh, okay, I'll be sure to leave my divine intervention out of this food.
I will not bless this food before I give it to you.
Yeah, God will not intervene on her taste buds.
Yes, that was what
It will not be, in fact, heavenly.
Falling back into bed, I let out a big sigh. I'm sure mother thinks that Himiko-san was a normal hospital patient or a nurse, so... At least she wasn't thinking that it was someone from the 7th floor. The fries were like this. Himiko-san was also like this. Happier mother gods.
私は
The more lies
心
and
苦しかった。これが罪悪感と呼ばれるものだろうか。
pineapple tree. One second, I need to not channel. Like my lips are getting chapped. 1 second.
Perfect timing.
Okay, sorry, that was gonna bother me.
No problem. I just need now a moment myself. Work-related email.
What was that? I couldn't hear that last part.
A work-related email. I just need to open.
The lunch is in my tote bag. And lunch is in my tote bag and my hand numbered 2. Since it was hot, Mother also prepared a frozen water bottle for me. Wasn't sure how far we were going, but I was pretty sure she spoke about going all the way to the ocean before.
せつみさん、千尋さん。実は探していたの。
And from her pocket, she took something out and offered it to me.
これ、お姉ちゃんに渡してもらえるかな。キー。
I accepted it as a shining silver key.
もしかして車の？うん。裏の駐車場に止めてるって言えばわかると思うから。
Wow, sister is supporting the jailbreak.
じゃあお願いね。
Well then.
Those final words, once again, Chihiro-san rushed off somewhere. Could it be? I didn't think she was planning on going by car, but maybe there was someone else to drive? A getaway vehicle and a getaway driver? As I wondered about it, I went to Himiko-san as I was told. Peeking into the lounge and seeing that she wasn't there, I headed to the hospital room.
おはよう。今日は早いわね。
そう言われてたから。あとこれ渡してくれって。
I answered, I showed her the key I was given earlier.
ありがとう。じゃあ行きましょうか。
Not much of a reaction.
Yep.
Life were perfectly natural. Himiko-san took the key. Was she really planning on going by car? I came to the parking lot. Since it was just the time in the morning when outpatients came in, the area near the entrance was packed with cars. Then, walking a while in the parking lot as we came to the farthest
あっ
part,
た。久しぶりね。
she stepped in front of one car, a red-colored open top. However, that car, as far as I could see, was made for 2. At that point, there was some other driver vanished.
どう？いい車でしょ。
そんなことより車に乗っていいの？
法的にはね。
That's not what I meant.
危ないわよ。
事故ればね。もう大丈夫だって
Only if you die.
分かってるから。
The blast will kill you, Thor. Only if I die.
これでも自分の体のことは自分が一番よく分かってるって。
Even if you say that, I don't know how much I can trust you.
あのね、私だって本当に危ないと思ってたら乗らないわよ。
本当に？
ええ、道路は私一人で走ってるわけじゃないんだからさ。
Oh, so she does understand that.
So yeah, Himiko-san quickly got into the car.
どうするのよ。シートが片側空いているんだけど。
分かったわよ。
Using that light engine noise, the red open top started running. Moving through the usual familiar streets, past the neighborhood supermarket we initially went to. Past the we suddenly went into a long road. The owner just swerved the corner she planning on going. Before, she said that it was about 2 hours by train, so I think it was quite a distance, but as I thought that, I sat next to her and started up the view.
ああ、ごめん、揺れた？
ちょっと。
少し辛抱してね。運転久しぶりだから勘を取り戻すまで。
Before it came to this, I thought her driving felt wrong. In reality, she probably wasn't going that fast. Maybe because there was no roof, and the slightest swerve was extremely scary.
ねえ、もうちょっとゆっくり。
あれ節美何やってるの？
私のことは気にしないで。
Around the way, maybe look around. The scenery was changing. The city could be great. The sign right there, driving sense. Well, maybe I was the one who got used to the train. In either case, we got the one we call the car.
どう？オープンも悪くないでしょ。
風が気持ちいい。
そうそう。この自然との一体感がいいのよね。
So the city, is a natural place, very liberating and nice. We spoke about this, cars driving in the next lane and constantly passing us. At first, I thought Rosal's driving was scary, but it seemed that she really was driving safely.
これ、なんて車？
あら、車に興味あるの？
別に、そういうわけじゃないけど。
Wasn't even meaning behind the question, just for no reason I wanted to know.
ユーノス。ロードスターよ。
もしかして、すごい車なの？
うん。そんなに驚くほどじゃないわ。ただ、私が好きってだけで、エアコンもナビもない、古臭い車よ。
Rosal taught me many things about the car. How it was a first generation North American car. What the power-weight ratio was. She only taught me the best as she could about technology.
86に抜かれた。
Once we haven't been exposed to initial these
That's me.
Also me.
I mean, I've been exposed to it, but I've not watched it.
I mean, I think we've all been exposed to it through the meme. But
As she spoke, she pointed out one car in the passing.
あいつに抜かれるとなぜか悔しいのよね。
I had no idea what they were. It was something really loved cars. And it's so clear even to me.
でも変ね。
何が？
思ってたよりしっかり走るわ。長い間ほったらかしだった割にはね。
I wonder. Either Shihiro or Yuka had been doing some touch-ups on this, I reckon.
hope it's you. Also, one sec. Amy just texted me. Can you make sure Dad sees my text? I suppose it wouldn't do to text him to see. Hey, did you see Amy's text?
Is Amy at work
See
or something,
my-
or is she?
Yeah, she's at work.
Gotcha.
Okay, 2 seconds. East side. Ugh. Fine, tell her that he's. And apparently she told him before she left work. Cool beans.
Roads took me to the dawn. It's red light reflecting the summer skies and rain. And when if you looked up, the sun that had been behind us was coming right over there. Passed through the long mountain road. And before our eyes met the sea.
どう？いい景色でしょ。
Omida! Shoreline, summer sunlight that sparkled something like pineapple trees. And as I mentioned before, each and every one of them is big.
ここが目的地。
ええ、もう間もなくよ。少し行ったところに路駐できる場所あるから。はい、着いたわよ。
Stopping. Yeah, I don't listen.
Emergency shopping is really
You never
important, Gabe.
know. I'm still waiting for the manicure date, okay? I'm just hopeful. There was space for 2 or 3 cars to stop or shop, but since there was no traffic, it wasn't likely that another car would come. Stopping the car in that area, we got out of the car.
ねえ、缶ジュース何がいい？
レモンティー。
了解。ちょっと待っててね。はい、お待たせ。
Mixed with the crashing waves, the quick sound of pull tabs rang out. And then Himiko-san, facing the sea with the hand on her hip,
おいし
as if coming out of the bath and drinking a milk, she gulped down the orange juice in one go. And for no real reason, I also put my hand on my hip and tried gulping down the lemon tea in one go. Insert Spider-Verse meme.
Yeah.
And we walked out towards the sea spread out before our eyes.
ここは綺麗なところね。
ええ、私のちょっとしたお気に入りスポットかな。
以前にもよく来ていたの。
そうでもないけど、たまにはね。もともとは偶然発見したんだけどさ。
偶然。
だってほら、あの車ってナビないでしょ。だから最初は適当に走ってて着いたのよ。
It sounds super reckless when you say that.
Nice answer. Just a little bit.
さてと、それよりも目的があったわね。
Just as what she had said registered, she began rummaging through the trunk of the car. Then, taking out a small saw-like object, she started walking towards the large phoenix palm by the roadside.
Oh my god, she was serious.
Really think that one?
それは何よ。
あら、弓の子って知らない？本来は金属切断用だけど、よく切れるのよ。
そうじゃなくて、何をするつもり？
もちろん切るのよ。ちょびっと5センチくらい。
As she spoke, she placed the hacksaw against the phoenix palm. I had a feeling it was better to stop, but just how serious Himiko-san herself was, I didn't know. Or maybe if it's just 5 centimeters, it didn't matter so much. Was I worried about these things alone?
やっぱりやめた。
Saying that, she once again returned the hacksaw to the trunk of the car. She decided to give up. Why had she not been serious from the start?
まだ人目があるから、もう少し暗くなってからにするわ。
It's not like she gave up at all. Burning sunlight, moist sea breeze, and the scent of the ocean. Once in a while, a number of seagulls came close. On that kind of beach, the two of us started a light lunch.
あなたのお母さん料理うまいわね。
今日のは特に頑張ってくれたから。
そう。いいお母さんね。
うん。
Speaking about these things, we ate our lunch. Sitting on the shady riverside fair, lunch party where the two of us would lunch while passing the humble papa, they fiercely sniffing. Looking at the silly figures between his eyes. This feeling. How long has it been, I wonder? I couldn't help but think about that.
どうやらまだ好きだと思っているようね。
Likes you then? good thing.
So you still like them, the fries?
Things you like. Oh, like you like? Yeah. Okay. That's good. Good. I had to do a triple take there. There we go. Words came as she looked at the fries. They were always there. With those words, I couldn't help but fall silent. She said it wasn't kindness. In other words, it probably meant that if I don't like them, then there was a kindness in saying so. Even I understood that. Understood. Running in her hands, doing it for me. From such a happy mother to say that sort of thing, knowing just how sad it would make her. That much even I knew. When I looked, Himiko-san was gently patting me on the back. As if calming a crying child, she continued to pat my back.
しょうがないわよ。口で言うほど簡単じゃないからね。
姫子さん。
そうね。いつかちゃんと言えるといいわね。
うん。
あのね、すごく難しいことだけど、実はわがまま言いまくりでちょうどいいのかもよ。
Saying that, she gave me a smile. With her usual cheery face, she gently encouraged me. Alright.
Oh, now we're wine friends.
Sea breeze stopped, and the long summer days went round to its end. Around when the waves, the sky, and everything that could be seen was stained orange.
さて、そろそろいい頃かしら。
Time to commit crimes. As she
I
spoke,
know. I was wondering, is it a crime to cut trees that aren't yours?
I mean, if it's like a public property or whatever, you probably shouldn't be taking, like, cutting into trees. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like morally you just
Like-
shouldn't. But like, I was wondering what kind of jail time you'd be looking at.
It's like, not defamation, but public,
Destruction of property, I guess.
I feel-
might
there's
be
a
your
word-
thing.
desecrate, no, it's not desecration. What is the word? Is it no, desecrate's like a religious thing. Deface?
No, consecrates.
Deface?
Cons-
Defacing of public property, maybe? Defacing of public... Defacing
Sure.
of property? That's a Colorado law. Destroying instruments, landmarks, or other property is a criminal offense. Under Colorado law. Defacing. I think I might be thinking of the word defacing. Vandalizing, maybe. I think it just kind of depends on where it is, but also you just... Not cash money. Don't do it. As she
Yeah.
spoke, Himiko-san went to get the hacksaw.
No matter how much you want pineapples.
For an already sparsely traveled place, she probably had been waiting for this even more opportune time. And then, a single car came down the road in front of us. For some reason, it was headed straight for where we were.
何か車が来たみたい。
Oh shit, it's the cops!
珍しいわね。
Oh god.
こんな場所で止まるなんて。
It's the Bravo! Scatter!
What had stopped before our eyes was an unknown subcompact car.
Ooh, you think it's gonna be Yuka? Or Chihiro?
I think it might be a hospital employee.
Mm.
Oh! Beyond the lace curtains, what could be seen in the car were lots of stuffed toys and numerous accessories. That was without a doubt the car of someone with girlish interests. Could be
変
Yuka.
な車。
そうね。今時フリルの内装をした K はいないわ。
K car. Oh, it's like a box car. Ultra Mini, the micro car. Smallest highway legal vehicle, but it's also chunky.
I'll look up a picture.
In front of the car that stopped before us, we both gave our impressions. And then the owner of the strange car
Oh,
야、
slowly opened the door.
元気そうね。あなた、ゆか。
偶然ね。こんなところで会うなんて。
I wonder.
this has to be Chihiro's. Yeah, Chihiro's doing.
とんでもない偶然ね。
Ooh, you know what I hope? it's because she said, "Don't come visit me in the hospital anymore."
Yeah.
At the hospital anymore.
Outbreak.
So you shouldn't have a problem that I'm. Yeah, you're not at the hospital.
And we just ran into each other at this outside place that you probably shouldn't be at, but that's on you, not me.
Oh yeah.
Someone seemed to be someone Himiko-san knew. Who was this? A short, cute-looking person who looked good in the frilly clothing she wore. Oh, she's gonna start projecting a bit, be like, "Oh, I'm just a replacement, aren't I?"
Oof.
Himiko-san herself said that she knew many people at the hospital, but the person before my eyes didn't seem like that sort of person.
ところで、何よ、その品のない車は。
うるさいわね。あんたのオンボロよりマシよ。つか、こう見えても新車よ。たく、ペーパーに遠距離走らせるんじゃないわよ。
あなたこそ年を考えなさいよね、年を。
What was this? This feeling? It seemed like an argument, and also didn't seem to involve a conversation. And yes, it just didn't feel like that at all, even though the dog breathed.
でもまあ、なんていうか、ゆか、ありがとうね。
何唐突に言ってんのよ。
いろいろよ。いろいろ。きっとあなたがユーノスも整備してくれていたんでしょ。
知らないわよ。偶然でしょ。
Still a tsundere.
Yep.
じゃあこれもそういうことにしといてあげる。
Very happily conversing Himiko-san. And all the times that I've seen Himiko-san up to now, this expression was a first. And the person she spoke to, by her words, she was always angry, but it didn't feel like that at all.
Yeah. So this is what they call a
じゃあ
tsundere.
私もう行くから。
Just a little conversation, the woman quickly got back into her own car, as if she might not have known just why she had even come. But, in truth, didn't she want to talk more? She probably wanted to spend much, much more time together. For some reason, I felt that way and couldn't help but turn to Himiko-san and open my mouth.
このまま別れてもいいの。
There wasn't any particular reply. She continued to gaze at that person. In truth, didn't she want to talk more? I hesitated in even uttering those words. Somehow I sensed that I shouldn't intrude. And then, the car that I just thought was going to leave briefly closed the driver's side window. The briefly closed driver's side window opened once more.
ねえ、姫子。
わかってるわ。
Was it the I love you and the I know?
Seemed like it. The sound of the unknown woman who made a face in her tears. The world where everything that could be seen was stained orange. Only the crashing of waves and the cries of seagulls sounded. And then, as the driver's side window closed,
そのじゃあね。
バカね。相変わらず7階に来ちゃダメだからってこんな場所にまで来るなんて。
今の人は
そうね、ちょっと素直じゃなくてでも本当は優しい皆勤賞を逃した人よ。
皆勤賞。
そして一番の親友よ。
Himiko-san slowly murmured. Her eyes were gentle, but somewhere lonely.
おかげで残り3つが2つになっちゃったわ。
Aw.
パイナップルの木じゃなかったの。
それもあるけど、それとは別にね、もう一度だけ会ってみたかったのよ、親友とね。
And the slowly changed to cloud. Already the seabird and cicada cries have disappeared, and only the sound of the waves hung over the beach. Within that, the two of us were still at that place.
やっぱパイナップルの木じゃなかったみたいね。残念残念。
The words said that, but it certainly didn't sound like it. Instead, Himiko-san sounded as if she were having fun.
第一それ1センチも切ってないわよ。
いいのよ、これ以上は木がかわいそうでしょ。
だったら最初から切らなければいいのに。
ダメ、何事もやりもしないで決めつけるべきじゃないの。
Slightly skipping steps.
ほら、せっかく海に来たんだし、遊んで帰りましょう。うわ、冷たい。ねえ、節美も来なさいよ。冷たくて気持ちいいわよ。
Oh yeah, those are definitely pajamas. Never mind. Not what I was imagining. Those are very much pajamas. At the water's edge, barefoot and raising the hem of her pajamas, Himiko-san seemed to be having fun. Could it be that, in reality, testing the pineapple tree didn't matter at all? For me, I couldn't imagine the reason, but it might have been that she wanted an excuse, whatever it was, to go outside. And separate from my inner thoughts, Himiko-san was enjoying herself at the water's edge. It was just, even though I didn't understand plenty, there was one thing that I understood. That figure of Himiko-san right now before my eyes, without a doubt, a few months later this person will disappear. That sunny smile, the gentle patting on my back, the warmth in that hand will disappear. Only that was unmistakable.
こら、そんなところで何黄昏れてんのよ。来ないと本格的に水かけちゃうわよ。
Wah!
分かったわよ。
わ
Having been prodded, I also took off my shoes and headed to the water's edge barefoot.
どう？気持ちいいでしょ。
冷たくて気持ちいい。
I washed my feet in the waves, the feel of the sand, the cool evening water. Both felt good. How many years was it since I've been in the sea like this? I wonder. When will be the next time I can come to the sea like this? I wonder.
さあ、いよいよ盛り上がってまいりました。
And then, from the convenience store bag in her hand, Himiko-san took out something. Just when I wondered what it was.
ここでお酒登場。
Oh no.
ほら、あなたもグラス持って。
でも私お酒は。
いいからいいから、パイナップルの真実も突き止めたことだし。それにこれ、8年もののワインなんだから。
Overflowing gusto, she half forcibly poured me a glass. The clear red wine seemed overlaid with the beautiful color of the moonlight's blue. The two of us waded into the sea to our ankles and took our glasses.
ところで節美、あなた今いくつだっけ？
15。
じゃあ8年もののワインと15歳に乾杯。あと
Yeah, you're old enough.
私の人生にも。
Floating in the cloudy summer sky illuminated the dark beach. The 10 things to do before dying. 3 weeks ago, I was told to go along with the remaining 3. And now the pineapple tree and best friend were cleared, leaving what appeared to be one more. For me, I didn't know what that was. was, but the day for doing that last one might not be that far off. And after some
Okay, I
time,
can't believe that pineapple one really was a one of them. So it was more.
one of those seemed significantly heavier than the other.
Yeah.
Miko-san was still happily walking along the water's edge. Suddenly, her feet stopped and turned this way.
ねえ節美、もしもだけどさ、このまま海に入っていったら楽に死ねるかな。
No.
Nah.
Over there, the expression that had been on her face just before had disappeared.
その時はあなた止めてくれる？
I mean, physically speaking, I don't know if she could. She's not necessarily stronger than you.
本気で死ぬ気ならとっくに海に飛び込んでいるはずだわ。
相変わらずクールね。
Yeah, she just drank. She's very mature now. As she spoke, she splashed her way back.
よっこいしょっと。
No, there was a particular meaning to this. I thought it was like yosho, like the given effort sound effect, but I'm just not.
Yeah, I thought so too.
And then, while drying her wet feet with a towel, she sat down next to me.
さて、また盛り上がってきたわね。
In contrast to her words, she spoke calmly and turned to face the one who had fallen silent. Me.
いいわよ。あるんでしょ？聞きたいことたくさん。
うん。
I slowly opened my mouth. From long before, there had been many things I wanted to ask Himiko-san.
死ぬって聞かされた時泣いた。
そりゃちょっとはね。
じゃあどうして自分だけがって恨ん
それは難しい質問ね。逆にあなたに聞くけどさ、恨むって誰に対して？
I didn't know. That was my reaction to the unexpected question.
そうね。もし神様ってのがいるのなら恨んだかもね。
元カトリックのくせに神様の存在を信じてないの。
いいえ、信じてるわよ。元カトリックでもね。おそらく神様はいる。でもね、どうやら多忙らしいのよ、神様とやらは。それともただ無関心なのかしらね。
Continued to speak softly, as if talking to herself. That face, illuminated by the moonlight, felt somehow lonely and philosophical.
ねえ節美、あなたフランダースの犬って知ってる？
Nope.
フランダースの犬。
ええ、結構有名な話だから知ってるでしょ。
うん大体は。
At the sudden words, I answered with the slightest of nods. When I was young, I think I watched an anime broadcast of it. I believe it was a story about a child who had lost his family, Nello, and his dog, Atrashka.
ネロとパトラッシュと
Hey, I was actually kind of close to the
Arrow.
pronunciation. At least from how she sounded.
あなたは誰になりたい？もしくは誰にはなりたくない？
The ones who ultimately died, Nello and Atrashka. Then the two's best friend, Alois. I didn't want to die. But even saying that, I didn't want to be the one left behind, Alois.
誰にもなりたくない。
そりゃあ無理な相談ね。
どうして？
人にはこの3択しかないのよ。
As Himiko-san answered, her face was different from usual. The expression that she occasionally showed, that very strict expression, was there. How much of a time skip is that? Like a month, maybe? Or maybe not even that much.
Yeah, I think they were in.
I think they're in May, right?
Well, yeah, I
Just
think May is
summer.
when summer's. Yeah.
A white overcast sky spread out today. This time's different from usual.
This time's assignment.
Oh, I was
is
gonna say,
different.
whoops, that was a quote, huh? I don't know who that is. I was full of anticipation about a person I haven't seen yet. Oh, is this Himiko?
No, I don't know. It didn't even say it this time. It just said it Nello and Eloise.
Yeah. Person I haven't seen yet. Saw a doctor and spoke to him. So are you really fine with it?
ええ、ぜひともお願いします。
So I guess
Yes,
it
yes.
is.
Take it away.
Okay.
Even if you say that.
At my wishes, the doctor showed reluctance. For me, still being a university student, isn't the burden too heavy? There's probably the unspoken meaning behind it. Or that was probably the unspoken meaning behind it.
A patient is, well, I mean, you know, right?
もちろんです。だからこその担当志願ですし。
Is this a flashback to when she was a helper? Seems like.
Yeah, I was gonna say either that or maybe it's Chihiro.
I don't think that doesn't.
But that makes more sense. Yeah, I know it doesn't sound like Chihiro. That's why I was like,
And the
that
kind
makes
of
more
grayed
sense.
out backgrounds and stuff. But it's her.
Yeah.
She was talking about Nella and Eloise. Either you die or get left behind. This could be her realizing, like, oh, this sucks. I take care of people and they die, and I have to just deal with it. So. I
Yeah,
imagine
that's
where this
probably
is going.
When the doctor still continued looking doubtful, I pressed harder. The source of this was my volunteering to be the helper of a new patient to the hospice.
ちゃんと教会からの推薦状もいただいてきました。
As I spoke, I handed a single sealed envelope over. Here, the domain of extraordinary acts was not decided by only the hospital itself. The wishes of the church often also had influence.
Alright, I'll inform the director.
ありがとうございます。
Giving a deep bow, I left the place. The helper's application for a 7th floor assignment. Oh, so she wanted to be in the set. That in itself wasn't a particularly strange occurrence.
It sounds like for a specific person as well.
Yeah, it was like at first I was just like, okay, and then, oh well. Moreover, up until now, I had served 3 hospice patients already. Oh,
Oh, it's not.
so this one's different. Considering my age, that was a rare amount of helper experience. It could be said that I was a veteran. As to why it was rare, in normal hospitals, no matter how much a person volunteered, it would have been difficult for a university volunteer to be stationed at a hospice. No matter how short-handed, a place called the hospice was afforded that consideration.
でも、ここはキリスト教病院。
And moreover, even compared to other patients, it was more strongly a religious-oriented place than medical services-oriented.
そして私はカトリック。
Someone who, before her earliest memories, received the waters of baptism, who actively engaged in public welfare activities. These were probably all of the reasons.
だけど今度の担当はいつもと違う。
Ooh. Yeah, Yeah,
The
that'd do
patient
it,
was a
probably.
child. Yeah, that would. The patient was a child. And also, not just a child. One without guardians and bedridden. Essentially, a child with no relatives, no parents. Of course, that didn't mean the child had no parents at birth. Yeah, yes.
Doofenshmirtz looking ass. Both my parents
I
failed to
know.
show up to my birth.
I wonder how many kids were like, oh yeah, man, poor Doofenshmirtz. Like, that's messed up. How do your parents just. That sucks. I'm glad my parents were there at my birth.
When the stork dropped me off at the hospital, I'm so glad they showed up on time. Can imagine.
God. That was also a really good Doofenshmirtz impersonation. I'm impressed. Game.
Listen, I've watched all of Phineas and Ferb, okay? It's
Yeah.
good
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Yeah, I'm just not good at impersonations. Well, cruel, leaving a bedridden. Oh, well, cruel, leaving a bedridden child. And vanishing like that. There were many of those kinds of parents. I didn't want to accept it, but that was also reality. And such a child with no place to go, no relatives, clearly needs to be adopted by me. I will be the best One-san. I already did it once. The first to take the child in will be a Catholic hospital like ours.
もしくは最後の砦と言ってもよかった。
In that merciful stance, it was that aspect of Catholicism itself that was my reason for being faithful. That's why I was not a devoted follower. It didn't matter if it was Baptist or Protestant. I probably wouldn't have cared. Though I had been baptized before I had memories, it was just a coincidence that I was born and raised in a house next to a church. But even if it were a coincidence, I didn't have the resolve to swear lifelong service. I was simply a follower just of that merciful spirit. The spirit of the Holy Ghost. Different from the usual 7th floor, today it was to the 5th floor. Headed to greet the Nello I still hadn't seen. The word Nello was a term between us helpers and nurses. Oh wow. Okay.
So it was Nello and what was it? Nello and Eloise. Let me see if that's a real.
Nello, Alois, and
Oh, Petrash.
yes.
A dog of Flanders. It does seem to be. Oh, it's a Belgian. It's a story. Oh, it's like the No, actually, no, it's not. But it is a thing. It's a UK thing. So, Dog of Flanders is an 1872 novel by English author Mary Louise de la Remy, published with her pseudonym Oida, about a Flemish boy named Nello and his dog Patrice, and is set in Antwerp. In Japan, Korea, and the Philippines, the novel has been an extremely popular children's classic for decades. It's been adapted into several Japanese films and anime. So, it came from Europe, but it seems to have really resonated in Japan.
That shouldn't surprise me, considering.
It's received notability in the UK and United States, but is extremely popular in Japan, Korea, and the Philippines, to the point where it's seen as a children's classic. About film and anime adaptations, including the 1975 animated TV series Dog of Flanders, which reached an audience of 30 million viewers on its first broadcast.
Damn.
Kind of surprised it's not mentioned in more anime then. Or maybe it is and I just never really stood out. But
Yeah.
it's
I mean, that's kind of the case with
2, 3, 4, 5 different Japanese animations produced by different people. So definitely a legit thing. Very big. Anyway, sorry.
Did I? Oh, no problem. And now that we're on the slightly divergent topic, did I ever? So I told you that started Bungo Stray Dogs. Did I ever tell you, kind of like? I mean, I'm not gonna go through the whole premise, but basically every person, all of the main characters, it's very Blood Blockade Battlefront. Like you will really like it because it's got a lot of those same vibes, and of course it's also Studio Bones, so that's why. But, they also, it seems like they took a lot of beats from Blood Blockade, but so all of our like main team that we follow have the names of famous Japanese authors, like they're Edgar Allan Poe's and all that. So that was me and Emmy watching it. It was very much it was a lot of fun, basically, to every now and then just to pause. Like we were making it less fun, I guess, when I describe it to someone else. But like every now and then when we hear a new name, we'll just quick jump on the Wikipedia page and like look up that person so that you can like pick up on like the little nuances, like read their biography, because of course the show's like really faithful in including that tongue-in-cheek stuff. Like they're not actually the authors, but like by their names, like if you look up the history of the person, like you can figure out like, oh, that's why they're acting like this. This author is like that, or was like that back in the day. So, do you know anything about like Osamu Dazai?
I can't say that I do. Doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah, he's basically a really famous Japanese author, but he was obsessed with like suicide and stuff, and he like he had one of those like he had a reputation for writing those works that like were really good, but they came from like really dark place that would make you like be staring in the abyss, basically.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna search his name to see what books he's written. I might have heard some from. I think Joey might have talked about his work before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has. Like, No Longer Human or The Setting Sun.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that was one. Yeah,
classics.
Yeah, I do know who you're talking about.
Yeah, so I mean, it's good stuff. I just had to give that nice plug in there because the main character is named, or not, I guess the main character, but one of the main characters is named Osamu Dazai, and he is very much they put like a comical twist on everything. So like he is very much obsessed with suicide and is constantly just trying to kill himself, like unironically.
Yeah,
but like
I remember
just
No
like
Longer Human taking his life after he finished the book. So I do know who he's.
Yeah. So, and like, of course, he tried to like every lady in his life that he tried that he ended up being intimate with, he tried to get to convinced to do a double suicide with him. So like, of course, the character in the show. He
tried to convince others, or they always tried to convince him.
No, he tried to convince them,
okay,
basically,
sure
to do double suicides.
Gotcha.
And he succeeded twice getting them to kill themselves and he somehow it always went wrong for him, but he got it right on the third try, I guess. It's as fucked up as it is to say it. Yeah. Like, yeah. He did end up, dying with the double suicide pact. But point being, that's why the character in the show, really flirty with women, always saying like, oh, would you like to do a double suicide pact with me? Like, it's really messed up. It's really dark. And there's like a lot of those tongue
to me.
I know, I don't know.
So I'm gonna start going to the bars that I totally, because I totally do that. Picking up chicks at the bars, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna do a suicide pact. And you know what? At this day and age, people might be like, you know what? Fuck it, yeah. Wouldn't be surprised if you get some yeses.
One of the waitresses he ends up doing is like, oh, feel free to go give it your best try by yourself. Like, and then like, it's like, oh, by the way, do you have a good life insurance policy? Because you've been racking up quite the bill here. I would love to refer you to one. And like, she was brutal. But the point being, all of their like, big attack names, like all of their special abilities come from the works that like they're most famous for. So like his ability is called No Longer Human. Won't say what it is capable of doing, but like it's really interesting stuff. Since we were talking about literature Go Stray Dogs was very big on all of that, and again, it kind of sucks the fun out of it. I guess I can see people saying that, like, if you're just like, oh, I don't want to watch, like, I don't want to have to research stuff while I'm watching anime with, because you don't have to. But it doesn't really go out of its way to explain the quirks that they have. It's just they're eccentric, and this is and you just
probably, like,
that's the point.
If they're all kind of popular in Japan, well, I would imagine that the targeted audience doesn't really need to.
Exactly, but if you're like, you know, a filthy American like us,
The white
like
devils.
you
Well, I
yes,
guess
it's
not applicable to you clearly, but that meme of. Never mind.
Well, no, I had
I'm
to.
gonna stop digging my hole here. I'll just.
Like, I didn't even catch that. I thought you were saying, well, not you, because you were talking about how I knew them. I was like, oh no, Gabe, I didn't know that either. I had to, like I said, I was researching this stuff during the episodes. But no, I guess I'm a black devil for sure, absolutely. I'm what's the white people warned of. Anyway, diverge from the game for long enough on that topic. Did I read this? I don't think so. Resident of the 7th floor, child without relatives. Bringing those together, most likely it had probably been a name taken from a dog of Flinders. It was a pretty disrespectful naming. But even now, I didn't know the truth behind it. When I came, it felt already long established. So calling them Nellos is disrespectful. Still don't know, even all that entire time with us talking about it. Still not sure anything about the plot of it.
ただ悪意を持っての呼び方ではないのだろう。
The reason was whenever it was known that a Nello was coming, the number of doctors, nurses, and helpers who sought the assignment was great. Oh, okay, maybe that was it, and I just forgot because we were talking. But I'm guessing the Nello is the person who doesn't have basically relatives.
Yeah.
Or is everyone looking at them? Gotcha. That sort of situation was probably because this was a hospital following Christ's teachings, which aimed at a self-sacrificing attitude. And then among those, the helpers assigned to Nello were called, with both respect and jest, Alois. God, my Black Butler dark history is coming back.
I'm just thinking of, there's a character in Fire Emblem Three Houses that's named Alois, and I just keep thinking of him.
Oh god, I would rather be like the Fire Emblem Three Houses than Black Butler. In reality, Patarash would have been closer.
でも私たちは一緒に死んであげることはできない。
Man, maybe I'll be able to convince them to do a double suicide pact.
I was almost gonna make that joke, but I was like, is that tasteless? I don't know if I should be the one making that joke, but if you it's probably fine if you make it.
Yeah, yeah.
It was.
It was low-hanging fruit. Someone had to grab it. That was why they were called the closest best friend. That was why they were called the closest best friend, Alois.
そしてこの私もアロア役を求める一人だった。おはよう。
Raising her body up in the bed, the girl looked this way. Bevernice, perhaps because it was just past noon, wasn't already eaten lunch tray. Her voluminous or voluminous? I'm gonna go with voluminous. Hair left an impression.
あら、偉いわね。ちゃんと残さずに食べたのね。 自己紹介がまだだったわね。今度あなたの担当になったヘルパーよ。
As I answered, I opened up the certificate and showed her. Sorry, for a second I forgot that I am the one reading this. A child of this age, it might have been pointless, but showing the person now was a set thing here.
じゃあこれからよろしくね。
こちらこそ。
She responded with those words, but she looked this way with a puzzled expression.
でも、ヘルパーって何？
That was unexpected. It had been likely that there were lots of things she didn't understand, but I hadn't thought it was to this extent.
お医者さんや看護婦さんとは違うの？
それは。
I wonder how I should answer that question. Someone who took care of them. Normally, that probably would have been fine. But from here on out, what faced this girl was the 7th floor. And I was her helper, the Eloise Fernello. Normally, unless one were notified, one couldn't be admitted into the 7th floor, meaning they've been informed that they had already run out of treatments. To be direct about it, the pronouncement that they would die. After they receive that explanation, and the hospital receives their agreement, they are finally allowed in. And that was exactly why in many general hospitals, hospices were not offered to children. However, Nello's were different. This place was different. Moreover, if both parents had been Catholics, then even more so.
どうしたの？お姉さん。
ごめんなさい。
While thinking over the question, what is a helper, I had fallen silent.
そうね。友達みたいなもんよ。
お姉さんが私の？
だから何でも遠慮なく言ってね。
Quickly, I began cleaning up the tray that the girl had already finished eating.
ごめんなさい。
いいのいいの。友達なんだから遠慮しないね。
I continued speaking to the girl who was still acting reserved.
それにね、嬉しいのよ私。
どうして？
実はね、以前から年の離れた友達が欲しかったのよ。
私もお姉さんが欲しかった。
じゃあ決まりね。
As I spoke, I held out my hand.
これからもよろしくね。
こちらこそ。
The burning sunlight and sound of the cicadas. I did it. I saw it and immediately wanted to go Higurashi. I was like, I forgot how to pronounce it, but I was like, no, I'm gonna do it anyway. And then the hand I touched for the first time was warm. A summer day, which would soon transfer to the 7th floor. And so we became friends. Noah and Eloise became friends. A few days after, as usual, I headed to the girl.
あっつ。
As early cicadas began to call in earnest, today again looked like it would be a hot day again.
おはよ
おはよう。
I thought she was gonna walk in and she was already dead. I was like, oh, wow, she got 3 days, huh? Dark. The same as yesterday, she lightly raised her body on the bed and exchanged greetings. Just a little bit, she seemed to be lowering her guard, but still, somewhere the girl was reserved.
う。もう朝の検温は終わった？
6度5分だった。
Thank you for knowing us filthy Americans don't know Celsius.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
だったら安心ね。
As I answered, I cleaned up the breakfast tray. With that, until the afternoon, I'd run out of things that I had to do. From the start, there wasn't much for helpers to do. Medical matters were the work of the doctors and nurses. At the most, it was on the level of taking temperatures and giving support in their daily lives. However, another way to say it would be that there was no upper limit to supporting their daily lives. And it was exactly for that reason that it wasn't the doctors or nurses, but the assigned helper who was given the name Eloise.
じゃあさ、食堂にでも行こうか。
でもさっき食べたとこだけど。
アイスよ、アイス。これだけ暑いんだからさ。
でも
Made a complicated face and looked down. She must be thinking of something besides politeness.
大丈夫だって。お姉さんおごってあげるから。
And so, as if I were giving her back a push, we headed to the cafeteria. Since it was still morning, there was a scattering of people. Within that, we sat next to each other at a table.
さあ、何でも好きなの言って。
でも
だから遠慮いらないって。
As I spoke, I turned to the cafeteria menu.
じゃあバニラで。
はい、バニラ了解。私は何にしようかな。ってアイスって1種類しかないのね。
そうみたい。
これじゃ選択の余地なかったわね。じゃ、すぐ買ってくるわ。
Leaving the girls seated, I headed to the counter. Looking around, children of a similar age as the girl were eating together with their mother or father. Of course, a child of that age eating alone in a hospital cafeteria would be more strange. But the girl's parents were already gone. Of course, the girl didn't know. Wasn't allowed to know. I forget, gone in what way? Gone like they died, or gone as in they abandoned?
They just... I don't think they're specified. It's just someone who didn't have... You remember the difference marks, they didn't show up to their birth.
Yeah, they weren't there, yeah. Okay.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was something like, oh, this kid's sick and dying. It's gonna cost a shit ton of money to keep him alive for a little bit longer. No thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
ええ、思ったよりサイズ小さかったから一つじゃ寂しいと思ってね。というわけでノルマは一人二つだからね。あれ、もしかしてアイス嫌いだった？
けど、もしお母さんに見つかったら怒られるかも。
Oh, well,
You
いつもアイスはダメって言われてたから。
from heaven or something.
yeah. Saying that, she looked down sadly.
大丈夫よ。お姉さんと一緒だったら。
本当に？
え？先生や看護婦さんも怒らないから。
わかった。
Sorry.
And this time, she happily extended her hand to the thing, her hand towards the spoon. It was probably a given, but since coming here, she likely hadn't eaten any. While pondering that, what's about eating it? Yawned. Yeah. After just a few spoonfuls, once again her hand stopped.
どうかした？
そういえばお母さん、最近は全然お見舞いにも来てくれないの。
So, alive and seemingly abandoned.
Yep.
以前は毎日のように来てくれてたのに。
そう。
Well, your parents are filthy heathens. Beyond that, I couldn't say any more.
You know who never abandoned you? God.
There was no need for this child to know. At least in my case, it didn't seem like I would be able to tell her. Your parents are long gone and fully sinners. You all alone from here on will go to the 7th floor.
You don't have a family and we're all going to die.
That too. But there was just no way I could say that. That would clearly be
That's
too
not-
much for her little. Damn. And sadly, I learned that it was a very common thing. Leaving behind only the patient, the family disappearing. There were probably various reasons. Financially, psychologically. I thought it was a very heartless and cruel act, but I didn't rise to it unilaterally, blame the parents. Leaving behind a child on a sick bed and disappearing, no parent would do so willingly. Yeah? Willingly?
I don't think
Okay.
anyone's. I mean, again, if it's like a financial thing, like if we do this, we are going to ruin all of our lives, sort of thing. So, like, it sucks that we're dropping you off here, but it's either you or all of us, sort of thing. I guess.
Willingly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think I was just more along the points, like along the lines of like she just means like their hands were forced, like no
Yeah.
parent would do it unless they had like an actual reason. But like
Well, I
I would think,
wonder
well,
if it's like
yeah,
a-
or parents could just be dick bags.
Yeah, I almost wondered though if it's like. I mean, I doubt it, but if it's like a legal thing where it's like you cannot take care of this person, you need to leave them here, sort of thing. I don't
Yeah,
think, we
I
don't
mean
really
that
have- I
would
don't
be the
think we
Child
have-
Protective Services.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Touchy subject.
Yeah,
Very
I mean they would.
a lot of gray
Yeah.
potentially in it, for sure.
Yeah. Beyond the cliched words of being worn out from giving care, their agonies and burdens must have been great.
Like we briefly touched.
Yes. I just think they're filthy heathens. And felt this world was sad. It needs God. And once again, I learned that it was another part of reality.
どうかしたの、お姉さん。
なんでもないわよ。それよりも、ほら、よかったら私の分もあげよっか。
でも、
いいからいいから、遠慮しないで。
Guess there's no limit on the amount of ice cream you can take. Like, she got 2 for each of them. Like, just get a bunch more ice cream then. Moving the girls' already finished dishes aside, I replaced them with my own dishes of ice cream.
美味しい？このアイス美味しいね。
Saying that, she showed me a smile. The usually reserved girl smiled for the first time for me. Our hospital cafeteria's cheap vanilla. The first time, she looked at me with a happy face. A few days after, those Higarashis are at it again. Oh, they fucking. The burning sunlight and the savage cadence. Today, they also headed to the girl's place. So this is the fourth day. I don't know. The other day, she had been transferred to the 7th floor, but nothing in particular seemed to have changed. So the greatest worry now was the question about her parents. I had no confidence in how I would answer that.
Ayo.
今日も暑いわね。
Exchanged greetings with a nurse friend.
How is it? Are you already used to it here?
もともと5階でも個室だったしね。
The here that she spoke about was the 7th floor, and used to was, of course, not speaking about me.
Could it be that you were together all night?
まあ補助ベッドで寝るのは慣れてるから。
Really? There's no guardians around. It's difficult in many ways, isn't it?
At the words, I gave a vague nod. And by the way, what she was hinting at with how there were no guardians around, what she hinted at was that it wasn't that they had vanished without a trace, that they no longer were in this world.
So her case does seem to be that her parents died.
Gotcha. The cause of death was something the head nurse didn't tell me. I was only told that it wasn't an accident or sickness.
So suicide?
That seems to be the only
Say,
option.
like, is old age considered a sickness? Like,
Well,
I don't know.
natural causes would have been
Yeah, I get.
an option.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess if they were significantly old, but I feel like if the kid's pretty young, that's not super likely. But knowing the depressing nature of, you know, reality and all that shit they were talking about, I feel like it's, yeah, suicide. Okay.
Yeah. The remaining possible causes of death were but one. And that was why no more was asked by either of us. Even in this modern age, for us Catholics, it was a great sin, and a forbidden act.
Well, if there's anything, just say, okay?
ありがとう。おはよう。どう具合は？今日はいいみたい。
As always, the girl raised her upper body in bed and looked over. And I sat down in the folding chair next to the bed. Then, just like that, we spent most of the whole day together. In the window, the bright sunlight shone on her profile. Once in a while, we would talk about little things. That was our usual appearance.
今日も綺麗なお花ね。
Decorating the windowsill were a number of small flower vases. In them shone bright whites and yellows.
看護婦さんが飾ってくれたの。そう。よかったわね。
As I answered, I added water to the vase of yellow gerbera. I think we agreed on that pronunciation. While the girl happily watched my actions.
I think that was the first word we looked up, actually, when starting the...
Yeah, it seems like that in my memory as well. From appearance, it was the scene of a common, everyday hospital room. Hush, dog.
It's like, it's a lie! It's not
The
everyday
truth was
hospital room.
different. Oh my god, shut up. In reality, visitors the girl didn't exist. Why? Guys, she really almost asleep. Think there were no ghosts? Pooch. Oh no. But at this hospital, especially for the 7th floor, someone always sent flowers. Oh. Okay. Just, yeah, that was the nurses and us helpers. Everyone on the floor shared in on it. Okay, and that, it's not, you know. Even though some stuff. You out. I'm gonna let you out if you're barky. Hush. Go. I think Emmy just came home and that's why he's barking. Even for the people who had absolutely no visitors, it was a situation where we made it so that there was always flowers.
ガーベラが好き？
Oh, they pronounce it Gerbera.
白い方がもっと好き。
As she spoke, she pointed to the other vase, at the white lilies. Generally, as visiting flowers, their scent was too strong. This vase wasn't one that we prepared. But I could imagine who the sender was. The person who would send such a gift. There weren't that many.
教会って人が飾ってくれたの。ええ。どうやらお越しになられたようですね。うん。また来るって言ってた。
The girl happily answered that she liked lilies. Most likely, it was a priest or a sister who had come to visit. Considering the most circumstances, it wasn't surprising that the church would do something like that. Even for people who were not of the faith, they were included in the thing, included without distinction and with a merciful spirit. In a way, it was exactly like this place. But for this girl, she probably didn't understand it much. Even if both parents were Christians, the girl herself had not been baptized and was young and innocent.
そういえば、お父さんとお母さんのことだけど。
I had sudden question about the parents. I suddenly dipped and jumped. This was the thing I worried about most.
遠くに旅行に行ってるんだって。だから、しばらくお見舞いにも来れないって。
So, is it better? Yeah, who said such a thing? Is it better to tell the kid that, hey, your parents went on a really long vacation without you?
I almost wonder if they're just like this is terrible, but they're hoping that they die before they get to the point of like.
I considered that in the back of my mind,
Yeah,
but like,
I don't know.
still.
Again, I mean, again, like telling them the truth is like the right thing or whatever, but that doesn't like the truth is bad, and the lying is bad. It's a lose-lose situation.
I mean, this could be where Himiko was coming from when she was talking to Setsumi about, you know, kindness and what kindness really is.
No, definitely. I'm seeing a lot of parallels with that, definitely.
Boy, oh boy. I swallowed down the words of the immediate question. Perhaps a doctor or a nurse? There was also a chance it had been a priest or a sister. But no matter who it was, it didn't seem I would be able to contradict it. Speak of this lie. Say that we simply shouldn't lie. That is an evil. It is an evil. I wasn't childish enough to believe that would be the end of this matter. I didn't know who had said it, but their feelings were probably the same as mine. If someone from a long distance were to find an excuse to condemn this act, I'd want them to teach us, who are directly in contact with things, some other way. If this act were to be called evil, then all of us, I suppose, would be evil people. Going along with the lie would probably mean I was an accomplice.
お母さん早く帰ってこないかな。いつもね、プリン作ってきてくれるんだよ。ね、お姉さんも一緒に食べようね。
楽しみね。
Beyond that, I couldn't find any words to reply with. I'm just gonna get her pudding. Not say that it was from her mom, but like just say like, hey, who knows what if we'll ever get to have your mom's pudding, so let's just eat this pudding together. Like, that's fine. It was just against that intense pressure of being able to say nothing. I couldn't help but string together whatever words I could.
そうだ。ねえ、食堂行きましょうよ。
でもさっき朝ごはん食べたとこだよ。
いいからいいから、またアイスおごってあげるから。
Once again, as if pushing her from behind, we headed to the usual hospital cafeteria. Anello and Eloise, who became friends. Really, it was closer to being patrash, but we were unable to die with them. That's why I was Nello's #1 best friend, Eloise. But, continuing to hold secrets, could I truly be called a friend? I mean, is it also wrong to tell kids that Santa's not real? Like, is it?
And you want to take away their hope.
Yeah, like, is it? I mean, that's a whole other can of worms, right? Well, I mean, I don't know if they're necessarily comparable. Telling a child that parents are dead, telling them Santa's not real. It's the same principle, I think.
Just one
if nothing
maybe
else.
a bit heavier than another.
Yeah. And also the fact that the girl herself would soon be dying. Just how long must that be concealed? A few days after, today a clear summer sky also spread wide. Under that sky, today the two of us went out into the courtyard.
今日はちょっと暑いね。
じゃあ、そろそろ戻ろうかしら。
もう少し外がいい。
As she spoke, she turned a happy face towards me. She had really become attached to me. It probably didn't need saying, but there were no people around of similar age. The majority on this 7th floor were elderly. That was why, even more so, I made to always be near her.
あれ？なんでこの場所はお花がないの？
Before her eyes spread a flower bed. Among the colorful flowers and the green grass that could be seen, only that corner was in a barren state.
もしかして枯れちゃったの？
なくもないわね。
そうなんだ。ちょっとかわいそうだね。
As she spoke, she seemed a bit desolate. But that area was for flowers that bloomed in the spring. Having already finished blooming, they were simply gone now as they should be.
でもね、来月にはまた種を植えるから、きっとすぐに賑やかになるわよ。
わかった。
At those words, she once again answered with a happy face. To that girl, I continued with words that I suddenly recalled.
ここは荒野。だから花が咲くのよ。これはイザヤ書の言葉ね。
And so, I began to explain to the girl. On the 35th chapter, there was the passage, "The wilderness and the dry land shall be glad. The desert shall rejoice and blossom. Like the crocus it shall bloom."
そして盛んに花を咲かせ。
ちょっとよくわからないかも。
まあ、何もないからって悲しむんじゃなくて、何もないからこそ喜びも生まれるって意味かしら。
へえ、お姉さんってすごい。
別にそんなことないわよ。
For some reason, the girl was impressed, but I denied it.
所詮私は経典や聖者の言葉を知っているだけで、別に自分自身の言葉じゃないからね。
じゃあお姉さんって物知りなんだね。
そういうのには詳しいかもね。
博士？
博士か。そこまでじゃないけど、なんかいいわね。
じゃああれは知ってる？
Is this where we got to Croquois Sensei? Like, Professor?
A lot of similarities.
Yeah. As she spoke, what she pointed to was the phoenix growing out of the hospital's entrance to Jesus.
私、
We're just reliving her
木
greatest
に
hits.
思うんだけど。
パイナップル？
すっごく大きいよね。
Well, it's true that they looked similar, but who would be so dumb as to think it's a pineapple tree? And then sounds like she even wants to go as far as to cut it. Who would? Why?
Can't be me.
That's like defamation of property or like something like that. She wasn't joking. I'm pretty sure this child was saying it seriously. God. Should I correct her? Should I agree with her? For just a moment, I debated.
いいところに気づいたわね。実はあれはパイナップルの木なのよ。
やっぱり。
でもね、このことは絶対に秘密にしないとダメなの。
どうして？
だってみんなにバレたら食べられちゃうでしょ。だからああやってもっともっと大きく育つまで秘密にしてるの。
なるほど。さすが博士だね。
Girl answered as if greatly impressed.
あとね、他にこういうのも知ってるわよ。
なになに？
With expectant eyes, the girl looked at me. And facing the girl, I took from my pocket my rosary and
あなたの上に主の豊かな恵みと祝福がありますように。
turning my hands, closing my eyes, and I offered a prayer for the girl. Fuck.
終わったわよ。
That was my charger.
今のは何？呪文みたいなの？
Yes.
なんかちょっと違うかな。
Yeah. Certainly, if it were a saint or an archbishop, maybe it could have been called a spell or magic.
I'm not a high enough level yet to cast it properly.
Yeah, I was gonna make that. You got it. You did it. But I was neither a pastor, nor of the clergy, nor, you know, in a MOBA. Just one of the faithful. So it wasn't anything extravagant like a sacrament. It was nothing more than a simple prayer.
じゃあ、おまじない？
うん。そんな感じかな。
That, or just a way to ease the mind. From the start, I was expecting it to be effective. But really, that reason wasn't why prayer existed to begin with.
でも、まあ、せっかくだから魔法でもいいわよ。
わかった。
And then she showed me her usual bright smile. We would become friends, Nello and Eloise. Up until now, even though we were supposed to be close friends, I could do nothing other than buy her ice cream. Such an Eloise found one more thing that she could do for the girl.
Alright. Lots of similarities and parallels to her relationship with Sesame now. I'm almost wondering if we are going to be her like last death wish or whatever, like her last bucket list item was something to do with whatever her Nello that she couldn't live out, and she's trying to like kind of make up for it now. It seems like.
Yeah, that would be pretty dark.
I don't know.
Like, I mean, I'm sure she doesn't mean to like be using her as a replacement, but like she's just kind of taken that role.
Yeah, it's just a lot of similar developments and kind of progressions and stuff, and clearly a lot of inspiration for how she's acting now came from the kid.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it was just kind of vibe. I could see it going that way. There was certain, I can't remember them now, naturally, but certain points in what she was kind of experiencing and flashing back to, I was like, oh, well, that's, you know, obviously like what we just did now with the palm tree and everything, and I don't know. We'll see. But that's going to have to be it for me, because it's 11 here, and I have work tomorrow, and also definitely need to go to the bathroom again, because past my 30-minute time frame. Wasn't sure when that chapter would end.
Okay. Gotcha. That was a bit of a one. But yeah, I'll catch you later, Gabe.